Thanks for tuning in to another Buffalo Chicken Dip Legacy video, where Legacy is for the people. If you're enjoying our content, take a second to subscribe, hit that like button, or leave a comment on the video. These are a couple of ways that you can help the channel for free and support the Legacy community. Thanks again for watching, and enjoy the video. Hey, Carrie here. I wanted to start this video off with some editor's notes. We recently got a second camera with the intention of having a backup feature match to reduce downtime in the stream. For this tournament, we ran into some issues with the system being overloaded and lost the camera for rounds 4 and 5. We appreciate everybody's patience. These issues come up when you're streaming live, and the issue's been fixed moving forward. Anyway, enjoy the video.
Yeah.
Hey, Ellie, can you hear us? This is Rob. I am not Brian, the hot dog guy.
Not yet.
Yeah,
Not yet.
I am not wearing a hot dog costume. Can anyone in chat hear us? Yeah, Ramo. All right. Thanks for coming. All right, we're just working through some technical difficulties for round one, but I've got Brian and Brendan here, and I'll let them take it away.
All right. Yeah, we're sorry about that, folks. It doesn't feel like a buffalo chicken dip if we don't have technical difficulties round one. Which I think we've had issues every single round one, I think, since I've been doing these, and you will get them sorted out as the day goes. So, like Rob said, I'm Brian. I got Brendan in here with the booth with me.
Hello.
He's a regular player here. First time in the booth?
Yeah.
First time in the booth. So yeah, we've got connection's still a little wonky. Yeah, we're gonna work that out. Hopefully by the end of the day we'll have at least the back half of the tournament. I'm hoping will be VOD worthy. We'll see about these first couple rounds. So right now, on the right we got the legendary Roland Chang playing my deck of choice right now, Temur Delver. Andrew Whitman, his opponent, playing looks like just a classic stock lands deck. I know his sleeves are a little shiny. Yeah, he appears to just be playing pretty stock lands. We were checking some stuff out there while we were getting everything sorted out. That's wrong. Wait, is he playing?
Looks like he's resolving a Once Upon a Time at the moment.
We've got... There we go. We had the wrong person put in there. He is playing Blaze Hennessy. Two different people. We're gonna get this. Like I said, apologize, for all these issues we're having today. Let's see here. Right player name. It's here somewhere.
Thespian stage.
Oh, I'll get this figured out here in a moment. There it is. Nope. All right. Yeah. Looking at the lands list here. It's a little bit hard to see with these sleeves. And then of course Roland. I don't know if you guys follow him on Twitter. He's always posting obscenely shiny cardboard, and he's not disappointed today. You can see. I mean, these old border foil Delver Secrets just look absolutely gorgeous.
Tell if he has delirium or not. I see a Mishra's Bauble.
Looks like we got Mishra's Bauble, Brainstorm, Force of Will, lands.
Looks like he just has 3 types at the moment.
Yeah. Just crashing. We'll get life totals figured out as we can. I think we. So this was originally actually going to be our backup match. We originally had Brian Koval was going to be our feature match. We had 2 actually. Feature match and a backup match, and then our camera for the feature match, that's what we were trying to get figured out, decided it wasn't going to work today. So, like I said, we're going to get life totals figured out here as we kind of go. This is a pretty straightforward matchup, though, I think, if as long as Roland can keep Merit Lages off the board.
Force of negation specifically on the life and loam is pretty good, just to prevent that dredging in the future.
Hey, we appreciate you, Ramo, for being here. Like I said, it's not a buffalo chicken dip if round one doesn't go awry. I was saying we've had you on camera round one before, and it was also a hot mess. I think that was it said we were streaming Lorcana, and it was a time.
Wait, we aren't streaming Lorcana?
Actually, this is Universes Beyond Lorcana.
Can't wait to cast Mickey Mouse with an Underground Sea.
Oh goodness. Yeah, but no, that force of negation, getting rid of that life in the loam.
Looks like it's a crop rotation, sacrificing the Odawara. Probably grabbing a Thespian Stage.
Is it-
Or Bajuka Bog.
Bajuka Bog nuking the graveyard on those.
Probably to prevent Murktide, just in case. And
Yeah.
make sure that Darcy's no longer delirious. Which I don't think it was.
Yeah, I don't believe it was. I think it was still probably the right choice hitting it here. Looks like 3 cards in Roland's hand. None of them happen to be. I don't know. Looks like we do see a.
I think he has a Questing Druid, another Darcy, and a Chain Lightning. It looks like he just picked up a Brainstorm.
So we can look at his list here if I can find it. I had it pulled up. There we go. Yep, there is a single copy of Chain Lightning. I love the Temur Doublelist. Questing Druid in particular, I think, it's a very strong card in this type of shell, especially with.
Looks like he likes the top card off the Darcy Surveil, so he's going to keep it. I think it was that Wasteland.
Which would be a very good one here.
Yep.
And it looks like, as far as the lands goes, it looks like we see the Bajuka Bog. It looks like a Beseju that has been played, correct?
Mhm.
And then a Maze of Ith, and then that Thespian Stage.
So if you can take out that Maze of Ith here, Blaze is Hellbent, which just essentially means he's just going to crash in for turn after turn damage and just be able to hold up a second Wasteland, so that way a Merit Lage can't hit the board.
Yeah, and Blaze is effectively tapped out as far as being able to like try to turn that that Thespian Stage into Maze of Ith. Oh no, where did my... Oh, there it is.
Looks like he's putting the Darcy and the Chain Lightning. Or no, sorry, Darcy and Daze, I believe, back on top.
That was a long thought. I thought the camera was stuttering again. He was thinking about it. Oh, so we got double Wasteland here. Okay, so we can just hit all these problem cards right now.
Yeah, I think the Surveil that he hit off the Brainstorm included the second Wasteland, because he already had one in play.
Mm-hmm.
And so being able to hit the thing that's, keeping him alive.
Yeah, and then and just hold it, threaten that Thespian Stage. Yeah, no need to pop it now.
Ooh, looks like that was a top deck loam.
Oof. Got a Lightning Bolt, yeah, Chain Lightning, and then, yep, that Questing Druid.
I think his plan is to end of turn Seek the Beast, and then just like mill over the Darcy off of the Darcy. So he's doing getting back Saga, Odawara, and Maze of Ith.
Yeah, those
All very good.
all going to be very problematic cards for Roland if he can't find something to push some more damage through here. Because, like I said, we're not 100% sure if life totals at this exact moment. Yep, and there's that end step, Seek the Beast.
Triggering the Darcy, probably just milling the Darcy immediately. Try to get that Delirium online.
Or no, it's
he
a
left the
Daze on top. I still feel like just been that.
Oh, yeah.
Because Blaze has so many lands in play, like the Daze. I mean, it's probably not going to be a gotcha moment.
Darcy land's pretty good.
Yeah. Alright. Is that another Questing Druid?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks like, honestly, this turn might be a questing, like hardcast the questing druid that's on adventure, then play Darcy, wasteland the Mazavith. Looks like he opts for just the Darcy instead.
Yeah, I'm curious to see if what he's gonna get with this this fetch land here. Okay, he's just gonna go for more red.
Looks like we are in the don't cast questing druid category.
Which is fine, honestly. I mean, the questing druid being able to have a big threatening creature is a bonus.
Mm-hmm.
But really, it's the seek the beast mode.
Oh yeah.
That this deck wants to play with. Sorry. Oh, just got some gunk in my throat.
Just chain lightning, try to turn on delirium because all he needs now is just a creature or artifact. So he has 2 looks to turn on delirium. There's the creature.
And is that another daze? Yeah, just get rid of that.
Yeah. Take Blaze down by 3. We know the only cards in hand are an Otawara and an Urza Saga, so there's no interaction. So if we just pop the Wasteland on the Maze, then we get to crash in for 6.
Yeah, because Otawara can't do anything right now.
Yep.
Turn card sideways and see what happens.
And then next turn we can also Seek the Beast again or just fire off this Lightning Bolt. I like firing off the Bolt in upkeep.
Just keeping pressure on.
Yeah, well it also lets us double surveil, figure out what we want to draw us, or just the concession.
Alright, yeah. It looks like Blaze is going to concede here. So that should be going to game 2. Unless we just missed a very, very fast game 1.
I wouldn't expect that out of this matchup.
No, I've played this matchup before. It is a slow, grindy one, for sure. Where is There we go. All right, so going into game 2 here, Roland up 1. Looks like some sideboard options here. I've got Roland's list pulled up already. I see Blood Moon. I'd be tempted. I don't know if it's really that good here.
I think I'd want it just because like the lands decks. I mean, they're literally named lands.
Yeah. The only reason I think it's so Roland does have the one of Basic Island.
Mm-hmm.
So the Blood Moon doesn't shut him out completely. A lot of these Delver type decks, you see no basics.
Yeah.
So and that's probably why he's got that Basic Island in there, so he can play Blood Moon. Again, is it the right call? I don't know. I think it's worth trying. I definitely think it's worth looking at. Meltdown, I think, is usually pretty good in this matchup because you can just melt down for 0, take out Mox on Meltdown for 1. It's gonna hit most of their board, especially if they start doing like the Urza Saga stuff, getting a bunch of construct tokens, just 1 mana, take them all out. Price of Progress. Also, probably. I mean, it can be double-sided, but as far as damage goes, I think Roland has a better matchup in being able to take a little bit more punishment on his own side, right? Surgical Extraction, take life from the Loams, can't go wrong.
I think out of the board from Roland, what I like is the one of Blood Moon. I like bringing in the extra Force of Negation because I don't think the dazes, especially on the draw, are going to be that great.
No.
And Force of Negation in this matchup is just better than Force of Will. Is he not playing a Force of Negation main? Because he cast one that game.
Sure,
Because he definitely cast one that game. I'm going to go ask if that was game 1 or game 2.
Yeah.
So the judges are going to take the decks to the side. They're going to verify the lists. Roland mentioned that he has been playing this list for a while and that there's supposed to be 1 Force Negation main, 1 Force Negation side. However, I did confirm with a judge on their end as well. He does not have a Force of Negation in his main submitted. So they're going to figure out probably what the discrepancy is. I'm not sure if it'll get upgraded to a game loss or if it'll just be a warning, but they're going to figure it out. The ruling that worked for Roland was he is taking a game loss. We were correct. The Pyroblast should be in the sideboard. He's supposed to be playing 3 in the board, and then 0 main, one force main, one force board. Since he has everything on him, Judge said you're making this swap because this is what your intention was. You were going to take a game loss, and we're going to start game 3. Roland gets to do play draw decision.
All right, so for our own sakes, that means that one mainboard Power Blast that is currently on his list is the Force of Will, or Force of Negation.
Correct. There is not supposed to be a Pyroblast. It must have just duplicated somehow.
Mm-hmm.
But the Pyroblast, it says he has 4 between main and board, which is a little excessive.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, the Pyroblast that is main is supposed to be a Force of Negation, which is what his intention was, and then just the 3 in the board.
Okay.
So going forward, our head judge, Aaron Hammer, is going to be swapping his deck list to represent the correct deck. So he's going to have the Force main represented on our screen as well.
Okay. Cool. And yeah, that does that. I mean, of the mistakes to make, that feels like the glaring one.
It is definitely one of the ones that feels bad to make, but also it's one of those where you're like, I mean, that sucks. Not much I can do.
And you know, at the end of the day, it is just a game loss. So we're going into game 3.
Roland gets to have the play, which is nice against a matchup that you don't particularly want to play against.
Yeah. This is I don't know, and I'm wondering what the like the mental thought process are here on both sides, because Blaze basically just got a free win.
Mm-hmm.
Not the kind of win you want to get. If it was me, I'd be like, man, that sucks. I'm sorry. I'm gonna take this game win, but I don't feel good about it.
Like we are competing for a Mox, so any win you can get at any point is nice. You would prefer to obviously win just by playing well, but like you gotta win, guy. You gotta win.
Yeah, and then again, most of the people who play here are regular players. Obviously, I think we get new people every time, but at the very least, these are very experienced players. Yeah, I'm sure there's a little bit of that kind of like, oh no, I just made a mistake, but there's a good chance that it's not gonna shake them too badly for the.
I do think of the errors to make, deck reg errors, are the ones that whenever it does occur, you don't tend to get in your own head as much about it, because it's not, oh, I misplayed, I'm afraid I'm gonna misplay again.
Yeah.
It's
a one and done. It's not going to happen the rest of the day.
Yeah, I submitted the wrong thing, and now it's fixed. We'll figure it out.
Mm-hmm. The classic bobble yourself to see if you want to shuffle.
It's basically a surveillant.
Yeah. Well, I think that's what he was. I mean, you can see he has got. Roland's got.
Roland is also not on any surveillance, interesting enough.
Yeah, so my Delver list actually looks very similar to this. Speaking of surveillance, I, instead of playing so Roland's playing 4 volcanics, 1 tropical island. I play 3 volcs, 1 trop, and then the Thundering Falls.
Mm-hmm.
I am such a I think I've said this every time I've been back here. I just being able to surveil days, pick it up, surveil again. Oh, it's like crack. I just want to keep doing it.
It especially feels good when you're in a strategy like Temur Reanimator, where you want to repeat that value in this as well, where you're like, okay, I'm trying to turn on Delirium, but if you can repeat that value in a deck where you're like, okay, if I just bin a big guy, I'm going to essentially win the game.
All right, so we got a Malevolent Rumble happening over here.
See, and looks like he's picking up an Endurance off of it.
Oof.
And he milled over a Life from Loam too. That's pretty good.
Oh, that's a great rumble to hit. I mean,
especially picking up that Endurance it's both good and interesting, because it allows us to have some weird lines of, if Roland did bring in the Surgical, because he's not going to need to cast that Endurance for a while.
Yeah.
Like, that's more or less just going to sit there for a little bit, more than likely. But if Roland goes for a Surgical on the Life from the Loam, he can just Endurance himself to not have that, like, the most powerful card be stripped away from him.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, even if there is no, say, either protecting your own graveyard, sniping, his graveyard, it's a 3/4 with reach. That's gonna block almost everything out of Roland's deck.
It looks like he dredged back and milled a Saga Boseiju, which, if this Life from Loam resolves without a Force of Negation, I don't know how Roland's going to win this game.
Yeah, this is...
Especially because there's already an Exploration out, so if he just... Oh, that was a Dark Depths, not a second Saga.
Double checking what Boseiju hits, I think.
Yeah.
And or the consequences of letting something get Boseiju'd.
So here's a Saga. Roland's going to let the trigger resolve, and then a Dark Depths. Yeah, things aren't looking too good for Roland. I think the way that he's only winning this game is by putting pressure out early and then just trying to interact as things come. I don't know how this is all gonna go. I'm not sure what he just cast there.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure.
Another Rumble, maybe.
I think it might have been a... Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's a Rumble.
It's a Rumble.
He's just making his spawn before he actually resolves it. It's like another Loam, a Yavimaya. Really, I think that's a Mazavith, and then I can't tell. Yeah, it's a Mazavith. Can't tell what the card closest to the deck is. It's a Once Upon a Time.
Ah, okay. So yeah, that's fine.
So he picks up the Maze.
Blaze is, I'm sure, feeling very good. He's got a Boseiju in hand. He's got a Wasteland on board. Roland can't do anything with that Polluted Delta right now.
Roland hasn't even cast a spell.
Yeah, technically he cast a Mishra's Bubble.
Yeah, that's a spell in air quotes.
Yeah, no, Roland cannot really do anything right now. This is a rough spot to be in, and this is again, I've played this matchup enough times before. This is the kind of board you just banging your head against the table. If you're Roland, he can't do anything. Like he's kind of stuck.
It's basically Blood Moon this turn or bust.
Yeah.
And I don't know how well that's gonna pan out.
Yeah, it is not. It's especially with a format like I said, it's too early to say. It's definitely Blazes in here. But if we had one of those one of those advantage bars,
it's sliding very heavily towards Blaze.
Yeah.
I do think it is Legacy where anything can happen, but I think the end game is a lot more predictable when it comes to a deck like Delver.
Oh yeah.
Just because they don't have an I win button, they have a tempo button. Like Temur Delver is just a tempo deck, and Roland is so far behind on board already, along with Blaze just getting to dredge back a Loam every single turn.
Yeah.
Like there's gonna be he casts a Darcy here, but I don't think it's gonna be nearly enough.
Yeah, he's gonna Wasteland there. And then he's still got the Blaze still has that Boseiju in hand.
Especially off of this dredge if he mills over a Thespian stage. There's a Saga and another Wasteland.
And then Saga goes to 2. We can start seeing some Construct tokens coming out. And this is where lands, like I said, they
find their rhythm.
Yeah. It's a deck that it feels very snowball-y. Especially if you're playing these, like the tempo decks like that, like it gets out of control very quickly.
I think he's gonna Loam exactly what for. I'm not sure. Probably the Saga. Yep, Saga. Wasteland. Maybe the second Wasteland. Odawara.
Oh yeah.
If you can start Odawara looping.
I say, and because he's got the Mox Diamond, so he's got the color.
He did tap it already though.
Yeah, he can't do it this turn. But like it is in the.
I think Roland has 2 Murtides in his hand, which is definitely not the spot you want to be if you're not doing anything. He does have the basic island. That might be the Blood Moon I see in his hand. Which, if he had it, he probably should have just played it last turn.
Well, even
he can still get Boseiju, which is the tough part.
Yeah. You can do a Ponder, but
yeah.
I mean, let's see. Yeah, I'm thinking through Roland's list here right now.
The only card I can think to potentially get him back is if you can chip in a little bit and just cast a pop.
If Roland draws 4 lightning bolts, a chain lightning, and the pop, and casts all of them right here, it might be enough.
Well, the other issue, he only has one red,
Yeah.
especially because like he had the basic island, and he can never have more than one red in play at a time because
the
he's
Wastelands.
just gonna get wasteland locked.
Yeah, it is a not a good position to be in here. Yeah, anytime with these Delver decks, anytime your opponent can start wastelanding you back, it doesn't feel good.
Yeah. A pass with the Darcy, so we're probably gonna make a construct here in end step. Not sure what else is in his hand, but we still have the endurance from earlier, along with the Otawara. So even if he does get a Murktide through, we can just Otawara the Murktide, and
yeah, it's
Roland's never actually going to deal any damage this game that isn't spell based.
Yeah. No, unfortunately.
Here comes an endurance.
Yeah, unfortunately, I think the only way that Roland wins this one is if Blaze just misplays out the rest of this game, and even then,
Yeah, at this point he can kind of throw a ham sandwich at Roland and probably be fine.
yeah.
Yeah, we have two Murktides in our hand, a Wasteland, a Force, and I think that's the Blood Moon, which literally nothing in Roland's hand is going to do anything. He can force one spell, but Blaze probably doesn't even need to cast a spell the rest of the game.
No, he can just keep.
And there's a Thespian stage. Actually, I think that's two Thespian stages. So we have the angle of just make more constructs and beat face.
Yeah, and unless, yeah, because it's a force of will in Roland's hand. Yeah, so even if he forces it, you just get it back.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would have to be force of negation, and even then,
Turns out taking game losses are not the best place to be.
yeah. No, I think even if it was, it was absolutely the right decision, I think, to be made here. If given the opportunity, play what you have on the paper versus take the game loss. I think it was still the right call.
He wasn't even given the decision.
I wasn't even good.
Nope. Hammer said that he had the cards, so
So
he
he
just
just played
forced
it?
the swap,
Well,
which just caused a game loss.
even if it was a choice, I think this outcome would have still been the correct choice
Yeah.
to make for because at the end of the day, it's 7 rounds of Swiss.
That's tough. He got Saga needled on the Pluto Delta.
Oof. Yeah. Yep. But I mean, again, at the same time, that Delta wasn't doing anything anyway. Because if he tries to crack it, whatever he hits is just gonna get wastelanded anyway.
Yeah. It does turn off because essentially that Pluto Delta with facing down a wasteland was just going to turn into a Lotus Petal
Yeah.
of just, hey, this is going to get me a mana for one turn. But now it can't even do that. All we have is an island and a wasteland. And then here comes a maze of it. So we're never going to be able to attack.
Yeah.
We can't even, like, if we had 7 mana, we can't even cast the Murktide. Now we don't have 2 blue. So he plays Maze and Otawara. Loam. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
He's so far behind. He's been behind for a while, but just holding out a little bit of hope.
Have you heard of our Lord and Savior Urza's saga? Alright, and we are back. Round 2 of the Legacy Open 4 here in Columbus. We got Brian Koval on camera for real this time. Playing just the standard blue-black tempo list right now. Playing against Nick Rott, who is, if you look on the left-hand side of the screen, you will see is sponsoring the stream. He's playing blue-black Reanimator. This is, again, if you want to play Legacy in the year of our Lord 2025, these are 2 decks you better be prepared to play against.
Yeah, this is one of the matchups that kind of make you want to play the tempo list, is that you're both doing somewhat of the same thing of trying to be a tempo deck, except you don't have the I win button, however you're better at controlling the pace of the game.
Yeah, we're seeing like the Nethergoyf's Tameo, such a strong card in this format. That was one of those, like, when the card first came out, I was like, I'm gonna try a couple of these in Delver. It was Grixis Delver at the time.
And there's a Nihil Spellbomb, which they're mainly playing to try to beat the Reanimator shells.
Yeah, there's so much graveyard play, not even just out of Reanimator right now.
Also, oops.
Yeah, oops all spells. I mean, even, you know, a lot of these other kinds of, you know, tempo decks, you're looking at Delver that cares about Delirium. Even, you know, the blue-black tempo mirror just kind of keep another Goyce off of being big threatening creatures, and then Murktide Regents. And this is a deck that can just get away with playing them in the main board. Like, it does everything you want it to do. It, you know, keeps, you know, your opponent from doing things. It lets you draw cards if you're not even playing against a graveyard deck.
We got a brainstorm here out of Nick, but I think he's brainstorm locked. I don't think he found a fetch off that.
Does not appear to have.
I believe he found a land, a daze, and a force, so I think he's just going to be playing his next couple turns with known information. You got Thought Seized on one, taking the Entomb, which he did have Entomb Reanimate, which is the 1-2 punch of the deck.
Yeah, Brian had that turn 1 Thoughtseize, kind of keeping him off that. Blue Train, Jazz fan maybe. We'll see you here tomorrow then. And then tomorrow, Ectoplasm is just the our standard quarterly Buffalo Chicken Dip. Our, you know, kind of, I would say, you know, the events we normally run, a little bit smaller, still very, very heavy prizing, maybe a little bit less than today though.
Yeah.
But so yeah, we've got tomorrow I believe will be 6 rounds of Swiss, and then a cut to top 8. Today is 7 rounds of Swiss.
Tomorrow might also be 7 because I believe.
Oh, did they up the event cap?
I believe they increased the player count.
Ooh, I'd love to see that. I would love to see that. More people playing Legacy. Let Wizards of the Coast know we're still here.
Yeah.
Like every now and then they talk about Legacy.
Looks like they both have a Tameo.
Yeah, I'm just gonna nuke that graveyard right there.
Was there a big guy in the yard? I didn't see.
I did not see. Got talking about tomorrow's event.
Looks like an attack off of Tameo.
And Tameo is gonna block.
Very powerful.
Proxy friendly, yeah, absolutely. That's one of the best things I think about being able to come to these Buffalo Chicken Dip events, is that yeah, it is full proxy friendly. I mean, there is a slight you know, standard requirement in terms of, you know, please don't just say, you know, just write Underground Sea on a piece of paper and stick it in a sleeve over something. You know, we ask that, you know, be able to clearly represent what your cards are. But yeah, these events are fully proxy friendly.
If I ever proxy for any of these events, I usually just go to the library, try to get full color. You don't have to do full color, but it's a lot easier for pretty much everybody. Like, it's a lot easier even just to play whenever you... Ooh, here comes a Fatal Push.
Yeah, and it's also where we do event coverage, right? If your proxies at least look like Magic cards, it's a little bit more enjoyable, I think, to see even if they're proxies, right, that look like cards versus, like I said, just a scrap of paper stuck to a basic land.
Yeah.
At least a printout of a picture. Proxy lands from NPC, yeah, that would absolutely work. I mean, we see all, obviously, you know, Legacy is one of those formats. You get people who've been playing for 20, 30 years at this point. You know, plenty of people have real cards, but also, I mean, absolutely just mix of everything here.
This is quite the fight here. So it looks like Nick played a Tameo into a Brainstorm to try to flip it. Koval forced the Brainstorm, and then Nick forced back. So he's gonna get to flip that Tameo, and he draws an Atraxa. He draws 2 of his big guys, but does get to put them back, and he drew a fetch land, so he can fetch them away.
Shuffle, yeah.
But the bigger part is being able to flip the Tameo here.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, flip Tameo. I'm curious actually exactly. I'm pulling up Nick's deck. He's got, okay, so he is on a full 4 Tameos. Yeah, this is pretty much just stock Reanimator, it looks like.
The other thing with the Tameo mirrors is it is kind of interesting of when you decide to flip your guys, because Tameo here, like, he'll get to draw more cards if you keep the Tameo unflipped, but when you're both having a Tameo, the first one to flip, if both get to just be kind of untouched, then you're pretty happy being the first one to flip, because you'll get to ult first, which usually means you'll just win.
Yeah.
Looks like it thoughts he's dud here, because I think Nick has 3 lands in his hand.
I still think Thoughtseize is one of those cards. I would rather, you know, say burn the resources and know for sure what they've got
Yeah.
going on in their hand. It doesn't feel good, you know.
Oh no, Nick has 3 cards in hand. It's absolutely correct to Thoughtseize. It just feels a little bad when you get nothing, but you are also kind of happy when you're like, oh, okay, my opponent has nothing.
Yeah. The information, I think, is always worth the cost.
Oh yeah. It's basically a Taxian probe.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
Brainstorm, I believe he has a Nethergoyf, and I don't know what the other card in his hand is. Yeah, because like now we're in the Tameo race of we're both upticking our Tameos, but Nick started first. So if Koval doesn't find a way to kill the other Tameo, it's looking pretty good for him. Although I do believe he's gonna fetch and play this Nethergoyf, which if Nick doesn't do anything is probably gonna win Brian the game, honestly.
I'm looking at Nick's list here, and yeah, there's not a whole lot in the way of even if this Nethergoyf is just kind of doing some chip damage, keeping that Tameo from flipping, right?
That's the bigger part.
Yeah.
Is like because like I said, once they're flipped, whoever flipped first usually wins just the game, unless like if Brian had a Shielders Edict in his yard, he can just like down tick, play an Edict, and then his Tameo's low, but he still has one.
Yeah.
Versus like Nick has 3 lands in his hand, and he's kind of Hail Marrying a Surveil land here because he doesn't really have much else of an option. Like if he finds a Brazen Borrower or just a way to stop this Nethergoyf, then he's super happy.
Well,
Looks like he doesn't like it. Yep, it's Undercity Sewers. Is he on 2 Undercity Sewers? He is on 2.
yeah.
Draws a Ponder. That's a good place to start.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's better than nothing.
Oh yeah. I think if you're trying to draw anything, Ponder is one of the ones you want, just because you get the most looks without needing to screw yourself over, and he can just kind of take a look and see, am I happy with any of this?
Looked like Entomb Thoughtseize Wasteland.
I think that was honestly Entomb Animate Dead Wasteland.
Oh, was it?
I think so.
It was. I would say I couldn't quite tell. Which I think I think it's probably a shuffle and draw kind of situation here.
I think if his hand is Entomb Animate Dead Wasteland, I'm honestly happy just drawing the Entomb. Because we can down tick our Tameo, pick up a Force of Will, or pick up a Brainstorm. Or the Ponder, honestly. Because Koval's also empty-handed. That's the bigger thing.
Okay, so he's gonna draw the Entomb here.
Entombing now? Do we have a Reanimate in our yard? Because if we have a Reanimate in our yard, we can down tick the Tameo, pick that up, and then just have either an Atraxa or an Archon. Looks like he goes for Atraxa.
Did it just get a little bit darker out there?
I think so. Which we still can't see Nick's board as well. Which is kind of unfortunate. If that was an Animate Dead, I wonder why we're doing this now. It must not have been an Animate Dead. Pick up Ponder, okay.
Just cast Ponder again.
If we hit a Reanimate, we kind of win the game. There's a Reanimate.
Okay. Draw the Reanimate.
He didn't draw the card.
Oh, he didn't. Yeah.
There we go.
Okay.
Reanimate Atraxa. I don't know what was in Nick's grave earlier, but I'm not sure why Koval popped the Nihil Spellbomb. Because I feel like the only way in the matchup that they particularly lose is if they put a big guy in play. Like, you're both playing the Murktide game, and Koval's deck is built better to do it anyway.
Yeah.
Especially with the Kaido, because if Kaido can just stun down the Murktide, you'll never lose.
Alright, so we're seeing Atraxa is sticking, which...
Maybe. If we can see it.
Yeah.
It looks like he's going to get an Animate Dead. I believe that's a Ponder.
I know, I see Tameo and Bowmaster on creatures.
Looks like he takes Bowmaster. I believe he took Reanimate, Animate Dead. I think he still gets to pick a land.
Yeah.
The Wastelands are kind of iffy at this point. Like, both players have enough mana that a Wasteland's not going to shut anything off.
Yeah, I agree with, just getting the fetch land. Because he's already played one and binned one Surveil land. But I still think just being able to, access to shuffling, still probably the better pick here. Yeah, because Koval's already on 5 mana. And in the tempo list, I mean, there's not much that one extra mana is going to really do here.
So Koval has the option to either take up the Tamiyo and make it Lightning Rod the Atraxa, or to downtick grab Brainstorm. I'm a big fan of downtick grab Brainstorm, which looks like that's what he's going to do. Because he has to find an out somehow.
Yeah. There's
Which
a force a little too late.
Yeah, it doesn't look like he drew really anything. If he doesn't have a Shieldred's Edict in his hand, I wouldn't be surprised to see a concession here.
Yeah, I'm looking at Brian's list right now, and main board, there's not. Brazen Borrower would be a good one.
His only answers to it on board are the Brazen Borrower or... Oh, wait, he doesn't have any Edicts main.
Yeah, I would say Brazen Borrower, Kaido.
And even then, Kaido's not the best answer. And there's
Yeah.
a kind of too little too late Nihil.
Yeah, so I don't know. Because Nick probably just goes, Tamiyo's on 1, Nick probably just goes face. Like, I don't know that there's a reason not to just start pushing damage on Brian.
Especially because he downtook the Tamiyo. I don't think really,
Yeah.
Okay, here comes the concession.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brian, at least game 1, can't beat an onboard guy. That's kind of why he's on the 3 Nihil, where if you can prevent it, then you're good. I'm still not too sure why we popped the Nihil earlier. I think he was afraid of Murktide.
Yeah.
I think it's a lot easier for him to deal with a Murktide than an Atraxa.
Oh, absolutely. And I mean, he might have just been trying to draw that card. Like, there is that mode of Nile Spellbomb just drawing you a card.
I do think with how the board state was set up, I don't think we're in enough of a desperation hour to just do that.
No.
He probably had something else in mind, but I'm not too sure.
So looking at sideboards right now, Shieldred's Edicts definitely.
Absolutely.
Definitely go in. Consign to Memory, I think there's definitely a strong argument there.
I don't know. The issue with Consign in the matchup is, like, it feels kind of like a losing plan of when you're, like, what are we consigning?
Consigning... I guess no, yeah.
Because, like, if we're consigning an Atraxa or a Archon trigger, we're already playing the game of you put the guy in play. And my response to that is stifling you for a turn.
It would be very funny to consign and animate dead.
That would be funny. However, he does only have 1, I believe. And most of the lists are down on it, especially now that Troll doesn't really exist. But yeah, I don't think either player are gonna bring in Consign because it's not really that good.
Yeah. For some reason, there's a part of me that keeps thinking that Consign is just like full on Stifle.
Yeah.
As somebody, I play Stifle like a lot, so I
love Stifle.
Yeah, so I'm just like, I want to Stifle. It's like, no, it is just triggered abilities.
I think out of Koval's board, he probably brings in the Barrogoyfs, the one of Brazen Borrower. I don't necessarily think he brings in the Fairy Macabre. I think that's more of for oops than this matchup, because like, it's just one of those cards that's going to sit in your hand when you know that game 2 is going to be a tempo game anyway.
Especially the 3 Nile Spellbombs in the main board.
And then the 2 Edicts, because like I don't think we definitely don't want the Force Negations. That's for sure not going to come in. And then out of Nick's board,
Fatal Pushes,
Barrogoyf, Voidwalker, push, probably the 4th Bowmaster.
Yeah, I think there's a decent argument for Bitter Triumph here too.
Yeah. Does Bitter Triumph hit Planeswalkers? I can't.
Yeah, creature or Planeswalker, and you can. So it gives you an out to discard.
Mm-hmm.
One of your big dudes, especially in this blue mirror here.
You also get the option, because his sideboarding plans for sure depend on if he wants to go with the approach of I'm still going to keep in the Reanimator package and just try to fight you on a little bit of a different axis, or if you're just going to cut it completely. When I played Temur Reanimator with like no frogs or anything, I a lot of the time would fully cut the package.
Yeah.
Like I don't have any Reanimates, Entombs, Archon, Atraxa, or the Animate Dead, and then just play like a blue-black tempo. The extent of what I would keep in are, and this was when Troll was legal, I would leave in the Trolls and the Reanimates, because Troll Reanimate is still just like insane. A fine 1/2 on its own. Or even like when they kill your Dothy, you can just reanimate your Dothy and just be like, I'm very happy with this. And worst case scenario, you have 4 duds in your deck of Reanimate, and you're still a Brainstorm deck that can just get rid of everything.
Yeah.
Or you reanimate their stuff. That's also cool.
Oh, I love reanimating my opponent's targets. All right, so we're getting started here. Brian just starting off with that turn 1 Tameo.
And it looks like Nick drew a Tameo for turn, so he might respond in kind.
No, he's going to go with the Thoughtseize.
Looks like we got Nethergoyf, Bowmaster, Brainstorm, Force. I think depending on the contents of Nick's hand, I would want to take the Bowmaster. Bowmaster just represents the most value.
I would say it's fully dependent on Nick's hand. I would either be looking at the Bowmaster or the Brainstorm. I think.
Yeah, I think the other issue is the Brainstorm of like Brainstorm represents the most value. However, with the Tameo already on board, I don't think it's unreasonable to take the Brainstorm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just not letting that Tameo flip is huge. And now if he draws another one, okay. That one's also pretty good, being able to attack, because Brian drew a Wasteland there. So if he goes Wasteland, play Nethergoyf, he has a lot of tempo already.
Yeah. All right, so yeah, and it's crazy, the tempo deck, building tempo.
What a concept. Looks like we're going to probably get...
Yeah, looks like we're just fetching for an Underground Sea.
He can either get that or an island.
He does have the one, yeah, he does have the one basic island. Does he want it here though? That's
he did
the real
just pass
question.
it, so I believe he's just gonna
just get under. Yeah.
Yeah, and just like hope there's not another Wasteland. Because I don't think Nick is necessarily mana happy. I don't think he has that many lands in his hand.
No. But he did get a look at Brian's hand a moment ago, so it would basically be like, does he top deck? You know, kind of these.
How skillful are you?
Yeah.
Just block the Tameo. Interesting.
Yeah, how big is it? Yeah,
I think blocking the Nethergoyf is pretty free here.
I say it's only a 2.
It's a 2/3, which he have to put either creature or sorcery in the yard, because
yeah, I think
he already has an instant, so it's not like he can just surprise. Here's a Brainstorm and make the Nethergoyf grow. Maybe Nick's afraid of like fetch a Surveil, bin something, and kill your Tameo, which is not unreasonable. It's unlikely, but
maybe a little defensive. Oh yeah, Bowmasters kills Tameo. That's true. That's true.
It does put, because Nick does also have a Bowmasters in his hand, so it does do the like chicken game of making.
Yeah, you kill my Tameo, but I kill your Bowmaster.
Yeah. We drawing a card? Yeah, I'd be pretty tempted here to also fire off a Bowman. And just like hope Brian didn't draw a blue card. We know he didn't draw a blue card, but
yep, and there is a Bowmaster.
I honestly think this Bowmaster was more of force bait than anything. Like, it's obviously going to be decent, but I did see a Voidwalker, I believe a Voidwalker in Nick's hand. Did he miss the... Okay. He didn't miss it. He just didn't update it yet. I think I see a Shield's Edict in Brian's hands.
Bowmaster, the Bowmaster. The Bowmaster fights drive me up the wall.
That was, I think, the other reason as to why Acast fell off. Is
Yeah,
like,
Bowmaster.
Once Bowmaster got printed, you're like, I can't beat this card. I did well at a Legacy event whenever Bowmasters was like fairly new, and I was like, all right, my options are Plague Engineer, which kind of sucks, Dismember, which is okay, but I don't really want to be dismembering a Bowmaster.
Yeah.
Or just play my own. And I played my own, and they just kept killing each other, and it was a decision for sure.
Yeah, the amount of Bowmasters that I've just held back on because it's like if they've got a Bowmaster, my bow like it doesn't do anything.
They don't know that we know. They know we know.
Yeah, right. You just get into like mind game loops with yourself, and your opponent's just sitting there and just four lands in hand. They got nothing, and you're just like, but if they have it.
Okay, so it looks like Nick has another Bowmaster in his hand, plus he drew a Daze for the turn. I think I also see a Reanimate. I wouldn't be upset with firing off a Reanimate, hit a Bowmaster, or just casting another one. I do think it very much depends, because we don't know how he boarded. I think if he fires that off fully depends on if he boarded different. So we get a force on the Bowman. Daze, pick up a land. Likely he's doing this just so he can replay the land for turn, because he doesn't have a third land drop. Replay the land, use that to reanimate a Bowmaster.
Yeah. Yep,
Yeah.
There it is. And Bowmaster the Bowmaster.
Bowmaster, the Bowmaster, the Bowmaster. The Bowmaster.
I love Legacy. No, I'm curious. I'm curious to see what other decks we were gonna see today. I will not, if I can help it, put an Oops All Spells mirror on the stream. We did that last time.
I don't think you had a choice last time though, right?
Yeah, I was in the top 8.
Yeah.
And like we missed the entire first game because it was
Lucky.
it was over in like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
And then game 3 actually was like, felt like it was real magic. But it was a game 3 Oops All Spells mirror. But no, I am very curious to see exactly what the meta breakdown of the day is going to be. I'm sure we'll get that information eventually.
Yeah.
Let's see. Is it a Shoulder's Edict?
Probably sec a token? Or just non-token. Both of the creatures are impactful. Drew an Animate dead. I do think the only thing that was killing... But I'm not 100%. We're gonna Animate dead another Bowmaster?
Could Animate dead. Yeah.
Ping token, make a 4/4. That also shrinks another Goyf.
Yeah, it does.
Because
So
now
it's gonna be what,
Brian has a 2/3 Nether Goyf.
2/3 Nether Goyf.
I do like attacking with only the Bowmaster here, leaving back the 4/4, because like I don't know what the life total is particularly, but I think that based off the attacks this game, Brian is up on life.
The people do not deserve to bear witness to the horror that Oops has wrought on this great format. If anybody wants to see that, I'm pretty sure the VOD from the last one we did here should be up on the YouTube. Somewhere probably around the 5 or 6 hour, probably around the 6 hour mark, you can watch it. The whole match lasts about 10 minutes.
Here comes a 6/6 Murktide from Brian, which obviously really good. Now he does have an 0/1 Nether Goyf.
I think the 0/1 Nether Goyf is worth the
absolutely.
Murktide though, for sure.
We're just playing the bigger creature game right now, and Brian is winning that. We're also pretty happy with just swinging with the Murktide a couple times and just using the Nethergoyf now as just a chump blocker.
Yeah, Nethergoyf can chump block. Realistically speaking, the Tameo can chump block if necessary. Because, like I said, for Nick's life total manages to just be obscured there. We see Brian's at 12. Nick's got to be in that like 12 to 15 range. Like,
He might be close to 10
yeah.
because he was attacked a couple times.
Looks like was that a Tameo that just hit the board?
He did just cast a Tameo.
Okay,
He pondered and I believe kept on top, and it was a Tameo. I think he still has a in his hand. I'm not 100% though. You gotta love some of the etch foilings out of the newer sets where you really can't tell that's what the card is. Because like the etch foiling, especially at a MH2 and MH3, they're very hard to tell in sleeves.
The one that kills me anymore is the secret layers. I'm generally a big fan of like doing like all the cool alternate showcases and stuff. But sometimes I just don't realize that like a ooh.
So he Tameo blocks the Murktide, and then we get to Ninjutsu in a Kaido. If we down tick the Kaido on the Orc Army token, all that Nick has untapped is a 1/1 Bowmaster and an 0/1 Bowmaster. Which it looks like he's going to tap down the token.
Yeah. Oh, that was very good. Oh, we're back. Yep, sound died. We fixed it. We're back. Looks like just bumped a cable. Apologies for that.
Okay, not much happened.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know exactly at what point we bumped it out. We were just kind of looking at the sideboard though. Nick being back on the play here. Probably doesn't change too much going into game 3 though.
Yeah, play draw doesn't really change at all. I do wish I knew how he did board.
Yeah.
Because that for sure would help decide certain plays of like, am I gonna brainstorm here? Am I just gonna like fire off a reanimate on nothing, pretty much?
Yeah, and then I mean, the biggest card I'm kind of curious about here is Thoughtseize. Notoriously better on the play than on the draw. I very regularly will just, trim some, even just cut a full set of them. You know, if I'm on the, especially in a matchup like this. But on the play, you know, if he cut any number of them, he might be wanting to bring some back in. I don't know. Well, I guess we'll see.
The other thing is, like, historically in these mirrors, you used to cut Thoughtseize a lot because you're like, okay, it doesn't, like, especially late game, it's a lot worse. But with how power creep has been recently, you kind of want it for the powerful cards.
Yeah.
Like, there, if he Thoughtseizes the Kaido, he's not in the best position, but he's a lot better than
Yeah, he's
before.
not losing.
Like, it doesn't feel great to have to Thoughtseize a deck that's also playing a tempo game against you, but you kind of have to. Like a couple lands. Can't really see what's going on. Looks like both players kept 7.
And that looks like a Tamio. Yep.
Tamio is kind of what determines the pace of these games.
So I've seen some people drawing comparison to Ragavan.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts?
I didn't play Legacy whenever Ragavan was legal, but going off the lines that Ragavan did represent, like, I think it's a lot easier to deal with a Tamio. Because you do gain tempo if they like force it and you daze back, but not nearly the amount of like Ragavan can virtually draw you a card plus counter a spell or like get you the mana advantage back.
Yeah.
Because like if you're dazing multiple times with the Tamio out, you can flip her, but not as easily, or you're not taking advantage of the clues that she's making. Versus Ragavan, excuse me, Ragavan just hitting them just gets you mana advantage and card advantage if you can cast their spells.
Yeah, I think I do agree. I think they're I think the issue with people trying to compare them is they play very differently.
Yeah.
Are they both egregious one drops? Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we're at a point. I think we can call Tamio one of the egregious cards of the format right now. It's very strong. It's everywhere.
So it does look like Brian brought in the Fairy Macabre, which I wasn't the biggest fan of. I do think he did board in differently game 3, so it is possible he brought that in specifically because he saw reanimation stuff still left, or he just brought it in anyway because he can't, like I said, beat a guy once it's in play.
Yeah.
And
again, I mean, it could be talk about going into game 3 where your opponent's basically one turn ahead of you.
Mm-hmm.
If Nick goes turn 1 Entomb, turn 2 Reanimate, for example, being able to answer that for free, versus where if you're on the play, you've got that kind of extra turn to find an easier answer.
Yeah. So it looks like Nick Thoughtseize his turn and then played an Undercity Sewers to surveil a card on top. He Thoughtseize took a Shieldred's Edict, but Brian had both a Shieldred's Edict and a Brazen Borrower in his hand.
Ooh.
So he's going to be able to answer probably because I saw a Murktide out of Nick's hand, which if his plan is to do that and just not flip the Tamio, keep making some clues, I kind of like taking the Borrower.
I was gonna say I think I'm
because Borrower he at least gets to pick what he like gets rid of, even if it is only temporary.
Yeah.
But if you're bouncing a Tamio or a Murktide, like you're getting enough tempo off of that to be happy with what you're doing.
Yeah, because if I see a Shieldred's Edict in my opponent's hand, it's like, okay, I'll just obviously there's a fatal push, but theoretically speaking, you say, okay, well, I'll just not flip my Tamio, I'll sack that to the Shieldred's Edict, keep my Murktide.
Looks like he drew another Thoughtseize for his turn, so more than likely just gonna Thoughtseize Brian, and then I think he has a fetch land in his hands, so if he just takes the Brazen Borrower and then fetches, he can play a Murktide.
Okay, yeah, so
And
there's
then, depending on how heads up Brian is going to play this turn, then in response to the fetch, he might pitch the Fairy Macabre to prevent a Murktide. But yeah, very heads up play from Brian to Fairy Macabre specifically to keep out the Murktide that is going to come out.
Yeah, because now there's
he doesn't have enough cards in his graveyard to delve away. So he can either crack the one clue that Tamio made, or I don't think he really did anything else with his turn.
I feel like probably just cracking the clue.
So he has a Tamio, he has a Murktide, and I think that's a Bowmaster as well.
Ooh, actually, if he's got a Bowmaster, I think I'd be
Firing it off now is...
interesting.
Yeah, I don't know if it's wrong per se.
It does put some pressure. It puts up some, blocking for this Nethergoyf, which is in the ballpark of a 3/4 or 4/5.
I believe there's instant sorcery land creature, so it's a 4/5.
Yeah, I think Brian just held up before. So it's a 4/5. So that could have just. I mean, I don't know. I still think maybe just holding it would have been.
Maybe he knew that he was gonna be blocking with the token anyway, so he's like fine with that. There's another Shielder's Edict, which honestly you're kind of fine with if you're Nick. The only issue as well is we only have one. So Brian discarded the Fairy Macabre, hit Tamio Thoughtseize. So if we played a Murktide, it's a 4/4, which is smaller than the Nethergoyf.
Yeah.
So we're not even happy playing that now. It's possible that his next turn consists of play Tamio, crack a clue. Obviously, it depends on what he draws. But I could very easily see that just being his entire turn is just play Tamio, crack a clue. Or another Thoughtseize.
And we're going to see a Thoughtseize.
This does make the Murktide a 5/5 if he does decide to play it. Which is bigger than the Nethergoyf.
Yeah. Or sorcery, land, creature, instant.
That's all he has.
Okay.
So if he top decks like a Nihil Spellbomb here, that's pretty good. Yeah. It is a 4/5 because he's not attacking. Got
Right.
clues, see what we draw. Draw a Ponder, which is pretty good. Our hand right now is Fetch Land, Tamio, Ponder. I like playing the Tamio and passing.
Yeah.
And like not fetching here because we can just play this survey, or we can fetch the Survey Land end of Brian's turn. But it looks like he's gonna go Tamio. Oh, because we got to clue this turn, so we can flip the Tamio.
Yeah.
I think both plays are fine in their own right. I think he's on the mode of I want to flip this Tamio and just try to ultimate. The downside to doing this is it does make us have to like play defense with the Murktide. I think that was Thoughtseize 2 lands, so I very easily can see the shuffle here.
Yeah, but I think on the Reanimator list, I think playing the Murktide defensively is fine.
Yeah.
Because you can just, find into an Atraxa or, another Murktide. You can play the tempo game. I mean, I don't think there's anything, especially I think Brian's got, one card in hand?
One card in hand. I
So
don't think it's really effective at all.
And then
That's the flip Tamio.
That's the flip Tamio.
Draws a card.
Oh, we're
does
just
attack.
gonna go in because I guess the Nethergoyf's gonna be down to a 3 power. So
yeah,
because it can't, so it won't be able to kill the Tamio.
Nethergoyf and Ponder maybe.
Yeah, it definitely looks like a Nethergoyf. Cannot. Attack.
I think he's just.
Oh, Kaido.
Is he attacking Tamio is the question. It looks like the only card in Nick's hand is a island. So down tick, stun down the Kaido. I assume if he's not attacking the Tamio, that means that he has... Ooh. He drew a Brazen Borrow for the turn. That's really good. I don't know if I want to pick up the Ponder there. Because we can just Petty Theft back the Kaido. Brian loses like all of his tempo.
Yeah.
And then we are, what, a turn away from just ultimating the Tamio?
Yeah, at that point it's just kind of a... Brazen Borrow is really good here.
Very, very good top deck. This game can still go either way very easily. Especially just because all that Brian needs to do is just replay the Kaido and just tap down the Murktide again.
Yeah.
like we're not shuffling. What are we drawing? Another Murktide.
Oof. Yeah,
So
this is.
Probably gonna Petty Theft. I imagine you have to fire it off now. Because like if you wait another turn, it's very
shields
bad.
down. You can't risk drawing something.
Well, we also can't Petty Theft it on Brian's turn because that's hexproof.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true.
But like the only debate is, do you do it now and set him back tempo, or do you do it next turn and like really try to keep it off board? I do fully think the answer is just do it now.
Yeah,
The
just
other-
keep tempo.
One of the other issues is Brian's mana, because he has 2 Nethergorfs in play, or sorry, in his hand. He only has a Swamp.
Yeah,
One Black Source.
I think he did he, if I remember correctly, I know he fetched for one of those basics. I can't remember if he naturally drew the other one or not. But playing
There's someone
around
in there.
playing around the wastelands, I think is fine, but it is kind of an awkward position right now.
Waste
gonna-
one of the lands. This game very much looks like it's just Nick's to take. Like, it's his to lose. Ping Tamiyo's pretty good.
Right.
So the Murktide's gonna untap next turn.
Yeah.
Assuming Brian doesn't draw a land. So if Brian draws a land, just sends in, then fine. Looks like that was another land, which is probably gonna be a Surveil. Be my guess.
I would say yeah. Nick's got 4 untapped mana as it is. I don't think there's any reason not to go ahead and grab the Surveil land.
The only debate to not do it is I think he has exactly 5 cards in his yard. So if he fetches an untapped land, he can play the Murktide and then play the Brazen Borrower.
That's true. He might not be worried about that right now, though. Like if you're looking at Brian's, but obviously he's got a couple cards in hand. You know what one of them is, or 2 of them are because you bounce. Because one of them is like Nick definitely knows one of them is another Goyf, one of them is a Kaido. But like I think you're far enough ahead on board state that it's not. I don't think it goes into the realm of being greedy to just, or you know what I mean. Like I think playing reserved is fine. I don't think you need to be super pushy right now.
Yeah, because even if Brian does draw the land, which I don't think he did, but even if Brian drew the lands, like we just block the Bowmaster, he has to bounce back the token, which is Cameo. 2 Murktides is better than a lot of small guys.
Yeah. And
That looks like a Bargoyf based off the mana he tapped.
yeah. Yeah, okay.
I don't know if I like surveilling the Bargoyf on top if we only have, like, if we're gonna play the Murktide and get rid of everything. Is Bargoyf both graveyards or just yours? I'm pretty sure it's just yours, right?
Argoyf, in all graveyards.
Okay.
So you can,
okay.
yeah, you can feel free to.
So he just has a better Nethergoyf right now.
Yeah.
I do think we're supposed to start getting in there with the big Murktide. So if we attack with both the Murktides and he doesn't block with a Tamiyo, we put him to 1.
Which is Bowmaster range.
Yes. But I assume Brian has to block one of the big ones. And like I think we're supposed to at least apply the pressure of the big one while we have the time. Because we could even just attack with the 4/4 and then play the Brazen Borrower if we're worried about the attacking Nethergoyfs. But I don't think we are, because like him attacking, if he only attacks with the 2 Nethergoyfs, we block one with the Barrogoyf, we stay at the same life total, and one of those Nethergoyfs is just dead.
Yeah.
Like Barrogoyf having lifelink is so massive here.
Yeah, this tempo swing is very much in favor of Nick right now.
And Brian can even just like, top deck a Murktide, because he doesn't have the second blue.
Yeah, he doesn't have the mana for it.
Like even the Kaido in his hand here doesn't particularly save him. It does very much depend on Nick's life total because we can't see it, but I don't think he's that low.
I know. I think Nick I think is at a healthy enough life total at the very least that he can play with it a little bit. I really like the glare too. Um, makes it very easy to see exactly what's going on the board. Yeah, we're gonna try to get that. It's one of the issues we're gonna try to get fixed here over the next couple of rounds. Um, we've got Rob running around. He's actually not able to play today. He had a death in the family. He's gonna go be with them this afternoon. He is gonna be playing tomorrow though. So
True.
he said he'll be back playing tomorrow.
He's looking for the back-to-back win.
Yeah.
So it looks like we got a double block on the Baragoyf, and all the creatures in that situation are going to die.
It's probably. I don't know. Brian's in a rough spot, but I think it's probably correct here.
I think we drew a land. I think if we drew a land, we're just snap playing it.
Yeah. Yeah, there can't be. I can move the logo. Let me see if I can. Actually, let me see if I can.
Move it to the side.
I can move it. It's a little bit awkwardly placed right now, but that should hopefully get life totals a little bit more seen.
So 12 to 8. I don't. Yep. And then it looks like Nick's going to take this one. He just has too much flying power. Yeah, that is one of the fun parts about playing the Tempo versus Reanimator game, even like, especially post board, because it just becomes tempo versus tempo.
Yeah.
And like, Reanimator can do the thing, but they usually don't. And tempo mirrors are so much fun. My favorite mirror of all time is like the MH2 Murktide mirror. It's so much fun.
All right, we are back with round 3. We got TJ Houston playing Mono White Initiative on the right. Harrison Keel playing just Nadu Breakfast there on the left. All right, we're already seeing the Shuko. Is that?
It's like a chalice on one.
Yeah, I
I
think
believe that's an ancient tomb. Or a city.
It might be a City of Traders.
Looks like they didn't adjust life total, so more than likely a city.
Yeah, I think that might be one of those like Moto print arts.
So who do you think you like in this matchup?
Well, with the turn 1 Shuko and then dazing that that chalice, I think I like Harrison's odds here. Especially like if he just has like the illusionist here, like what do you do?
I in general am a big fan of the. Is this a One Ring? Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, that's it. Okay, well, I don't know. This is a weird one. I'm actually glad we get to see some different decks here. I say different. Naughty Breakfast has been a staple of the format.
I love Nadu Breakfast so much.
Lunch is sort of. We are actually at some point. Do you remember what round we are going to be taking?
I think they said after round 3 or 4.
Okay, so either be after this round or the next round. We are going to have about a 30-minute break for a proper lunch break. And again, this is 7 rounds of Swiss with the top 8 cut. That said, though, for those of us who are here, there is buffalo chicken dip already being served, and let me tell you what, it's good as always.
So good.
And then Urtai, to answer your question, BCDL does, I believe, have its own Twitch page. But where we're hosting things here at the Warp Gate, it is. If you were here for round 1, you would have seen we've had a million technical difficulties, and we always have issues for some reason getting things started and set up. It's easier to just go ahead and run things through the Warp Gates Twitch channel most of the time, and we can still get the VODs and everything for the YouTube.
Yeah, good brainstorm from Harrison on his turn. It looked like he had a Narcomoeba, and I think he had the Dread Return in his hand.
Oh.
And having the fetch line to be able to get both of those away is very nice. All the blue decks in Legacy obviously want to play Brainstorm unless they're some off kilter, some random thing like the Epic Storm, where they technically play blue, but like, do they really?
Yeah, you'll see like a little bit here and there, but yeah, it's not. They're not like the cantrip cartel decks.
And even then, they still play Brainstorm because like it's decent to find.
Card.
Yeah. But in my personal opinion, I think that Breakfast is like the deck that utilizes Brainstorm the best because you're already doing things like you're doing the Brainstorm things, but being able to put back your like one of 3 or 4 combo cards that you can go off without them, but it's a lot easier when you have them in your deck.
Yeah, the more of them you can flip, the better.
There's not a whole lot of combo decks in Legacy that are doing multiple things of I'm going to be doing this combo that's going to kill you, but it requires cards to be in the deck.
Yeah.
Than Breakfast. And I did see a Nadu in Harrison's hand, so if he's able to, because he has a Saga in his hand as well, so he's going to Surveil here. If TJ doesn't have a Solitude, he's going to be able to just get 2 triggers off the Nadu. No matter what, he's going to get 2 triggers off the Nadu, because he's going to play the Nadu, activate the Shuko targeting it, trigger Nadu, and if TJ has a Solitude, that will also trigger Nadu.
Yeah.
So no matter what, he's going to virtually draw 2 cards, and he drew a Cephalid there.
Ooh.
If I'm Harrison, I think I'm just going for the Nadu here.
I think I would the temptation to get greedy and just go for Illusionist. Do you have me?
Mm-hmm.
Because you went on.
He's going for Illusionist here.
Is he just gonna go for?
He does have a Narcomoeba in his hand though, so he can't unless he has 3 Narcomoebas, which is for sure an option. The list I was playing, they only had 2. But yeah, I think the only answer is a Solitude, at least main deck from TJ here.
Yeah, that's about the only thing I'm really seeing here. Let's see.
There's the Memories Journey. There's the Dread Return. It doesn't seem like TJ has the Solitude, or else he probably would have fired it off already. There's the 3rd Narcomoeba. Okay, so I believe he is playing 3 Narcomoebas, because I thought I saw one in his hand. I could be wrong on that. He's playing a main deck Caracas. That's interesting.
You see that from time to time, especially like in the Nadu decks, where it's just like an incidental, like I'm putting 15 lands a turn,
Yeah.
And again in an Atraxa format, I can't blame him. There's only 2 Narcomoebas in here. There's a.
It looks like the Narcomoebas he had were matching. I think the card I saw was probably a Brainstorm.
Yeah.
Just based on the art. It's always tough to tell from these camera angles.
Yeah. Okay. So.
Yeah, it looks like game 1 goes to Harrison. He just kind of forced it, and it paid out. Even if he does get Solitude there, it's not the end of the world. It is a little annoying, but very, very quick game 1. TJ doesn't really have that many interacting points, at least game 1. Game 2, though, he has 4 Leyline of the Voids.
Yeah, the 4 Leyline of the Voids.
The 2 Disruptor Flute. He's probably bringing in all of the Swords to Plowshares, and I imagine maybe the Clarion Conquerors. His entire board is kind of built to beat Cephalid, funny enough.
Yeah, there's Containment Priest is an option if he wants to go. That's 2 mana. Stops Narcomoebas.
It does. I do think that's not the best line he can take, because if he brings in Clarion Conqueror, Disruptor Flute, Leyline of the Void, Swords, he's bringing in 12 cards.
Yeah. I guess the question is how much does he want to bring in, how much does he want to take out?
I think the Sheltered by Ghosts are not amazing main deck. Like they're good in the main deck. I don't think.
Yeah,
I think
in
he
the
wants
games
to cut them.
in this matchup.
You can make I think he probably wants to cut the Archon. Archon has always been okay in my opinion, against Cephalid. It's never been amazing because they are also a swords deck.
Yeah,
and they can just sword your Archon and be fine.
It's decent, like if you get him on turn 1 on the play, you can kind of slow him down. But
looks like he's cutting a couple One Rings.
I don't
he's cutting
hate
all
that.
of his One Rings.
I don't hate that. You're not.
I think he's also cutting his Dungeoneers, which I can get because Cephalid can go under you sometimes because you don't like all your creatures are kind of like it's kind of like Domain Zoo in Modern where you're tall aggro, where none of your cards are really cheap.
Yeah.
And they just are kind of like aggro cards that you can spit out on like 1 or 2. Like a Kavu, you can make a 2 mana 5/5 versus like Seasoned Dungeoneer is a 3 mana 3/4, but it does a powerful thing.
Yeah.
And if Cephalid just goes like, I'll play a Nomad's Encore on 1, and then you play a Seasoned Dungeoneer on turn 2, they swords it, they have the initiative, and you're probably not getting it back.
Yeah.
Especially because this is the just mono white build, not red white. If you're in red white, you have haste creatures to steal it back. If you're not also playing the other initiative guy, which is Caves of Chaos Adventure, I believe.
The red one, yeah.
Yeah.
Caves of Chaos Adventure.
So if you're only playing 4 of the initiative effect, you have less ways to get it back, and you don't have haste to just immediately attack to swing it back. But I can see cutting the Dungeoneers, and he also cut the One Ring, so I think he went 8 for 8. Maybe he's just going Leyline, Disruptor Flutes, and Clarion Conqueror. Maybe he's not bringing in the swords.
Maybe, yeah. I think there's absolutely merit to bringing in the swords, but yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I think it's just stopping him from having access to the breakfast line more than it is, just being able to pick answers.
Looking at what Harrison's cutting, I think he's cutting the entire Cephalid package. Like I saw, and that's something that they do all the time, where you're just like a Bant mid-range deck that's also playing Saga guys, like Clarion Conqueror, or not Clarion Conqueror, Nomad's Encore plus Nadu is still a very powerful line, even if you're not playing the regular Bant Nadu deck.
Yeah, he's got one Tameo main board, one in the side, a second Teferi in the sideboard, Wrath of the Skies.
Yeah, that is one of the nice things about Breakfast is being able to pivot in the post board. For a while, my spicy tech was I was playing a couple Triumph of St. Catherine.
Oof.
Oh, I loved it so much.
I love that one.
Because, like, Temur Reanimator, still the boogeyman now, but it was, like, the boogeyman at the time, because that was when they were playing Frog, and you just put a 5/5 in play, they can't really beat it if it resolves.
Yeah. Yeah.
Alright, it looks like the players are resolving their mulligans for game 2. TJ on the play.
Let's see what we got going on here.
DJ can slam down a lock piece on one like this. That looks like a city. If he has a chalice on one, that'd be pretty.
He does have a chalice.
He does have a chalice. I'm pretty tempted to fire off the chalice on one.
Okay, chalice on 2 maybe. Or
Potentially.
Pass the turn.
I'm kind of happy firing off on one. Yeah, it looks like he's happy to do that too.
Chalice on 1.
So that resolves.
And is that a Disruptor Flute?
That is a Disruptor Flute.
Okay, so he's got the just okay. I see you, TJ. But I mean that's because we can see his hand from up here.
So out of Breakfast at this point, that's shutting off pretty much the like cheap interaction, the cantrips, and the nomads. And he drew a nomads for turn, so very good there. Harrison has a daze in his hand. So probably gonna fire that off if he literally gets any opportunity to. Because as the game goes on, you're probably not getting that many chances to daze anything.
Yeah, what did TJ just draw there? Is that maybe I think TJ just drew a Caracas.
Floating a mana. Is that Boromir in his hand?
It is indeed Boromir. We're not a tower.
It's basically Vexing Bauble that can sack to give your creatures indestructible.
Yeah.
But it's also a 3/3, which is very strong because, especially with having the chalice on 1 already, Breakfast's only real removal against creatures is swords and I guess Teferis sometimes.
Yeah,
But
he's got. So looking over here at Harrison's list, prismatic ending. Looks like there's just there's one in the sideboard, one in the main board. Yeah, there's not a whole lot with this Chalice on one right now that Harrison really has access to as far as options go. At least not for another couple turns.
Yeah.
So yeah, he is going to go get that Meticulous Archive. I mean, searching for anything at this point.
He's for sure not out of the game, but it's the advantage bar is definitely pointing towards TJ.
Yeah.
Although, if you are Harrison, of the things to see, you are kind of happy that it is a Boromir, not something else that's random that's really good.
Yeah.
Although this does turn off the Daze or Force of Will, so he does kind of have him locked a little bit.
Fetching. So I believe Harrison did have Prismatic Ending in hand. I could have misread that. It looked like he had a Prismatic Ending in hand. So he... Yeah.
Pending the Chalice. Or no, that is...
Yeah.
That kind of looks like Cathar Commando.
It kind of does. Yeah. So, I mean, that does free up a little bit more of Harrison for next turn, but it's still just...
I think we drew a Clarion Conqueror. Yeah. This Clarion Conqueror is going to do work. And if he dazes, he's going to get blown out. Unless he's specifically trying to pick up the Meticulous Archive to surveil again.
That feels so bad, though. That feels so bad to do. If that was, you know, a thought process like that.
I think... Is that a Wasteland that he drew? Or no, that's a... Oh, that's a Karakas.
That's the Karakas,
Okay.
yeah. The old Legends one.
I thought for a second it was a strip mine because it kind of looks like a strip mine. I was like, wait a minute, that's not legal.
I'm so glad strip mine is not legal in this format.
What do you mean? That'd be so much fun.
It would be fun for
one
me.
player.
Yeah, I would say for me, I would have a great time for one tournament.
Like this was so fun to resolve like twice.
Yeah.
Looks like TJ's hand is Chromox and Disruptor Flute, so he's pretty much just playing on one thing right now.
Yeah, it's an awkward hand for sure. Double checking that Boromir.
Of note, Boromir cannot sack to it cannot sack to give the Clarion Conqueror indestructible right now.
Yeah, because Clarion Conqueror shuts down everyone.
Yes. And there is a Shuko there. It's not going to do a whole lot, but it's going to boost up the blockers that are going to be the constructs. More than likely, Harrison's plan at this point is just to make guys... So it looks like TJ drew an Archon of Emeria. Has a Swords for the Clarion Conqueror.
Okay.
TJ has to let that resolve. He doesn't have any other option. His exile, I don't think it's going to matter. If it comes up, we'll let him know.
It should be fine.
Just name Urza Saga with that. It's pretty good.
Land for turn. Thinking about it, just basic planes. Does not look like Harrison has a whole lot of like actually playable options right now. Pithing Needle.
He has a Needle, a Nomad's Encore, a Wrath Disguise, which is really bad, and a Daze.
Yeah,
so he's not doing anything. Although it is nice that Shuko's back in active, because if he just draws a Nadu, he's so
Oh yeah, that just it's
so back.
Nadu generates so
Did TJ
much
just
value.
draw another Disruptor Flute? I think he did. I think you named Nadu here.
You name
Honestly, I think we're just hard casting a days. Yeah. Like if he names Nadu there, I think Harrison's pretty far out of it. And Nadu. I don't think that was Nadu. We can't make a con.
unless he didn't name. But then why wouldn't he have made a construct last turn?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why he wouldn't have made one last turn if that disruptor food was on anything other than Urza Saga. I think I said that right. If I didn't, hopefully everybody knows what I'm meant to say. What does he get with this saga?
Maybe the first disruptor flute named Cephalid.
No, it looks like there's no. I don't think that's a construct token there floating in the middle.
I don't think they had a construct token, so that's probably what they're just using.
Okay, just got another Shuko. It's gotta be a weird spot for Harrison where like I think there's it's very Harrison's at 9. He can still claw back in.
I think he's honestly kind of in a better position than TJ right now because they both have 3/3s. If he plays this Pithing Needle and names Caracas, then the construct becomes a 4/4, which he can then equip both Shukos to and have a 6/4, which the Boromir is only a 4/4.
Yeah.
Or just play that.
So he had to pay the 2 for the days if he wanted to cast it because the Boromir shuts down. Yeah, you have to pay mana for spells with Boromir or it's countered.
Yeah.
So if he wanted to daze, he had to pay the mana for it.
Although the question is like if the first flute is on Cephalid, which is my guess because he was able to activate it, what was the second one going to name? Because if the second one was going to name Urza Saga, we could just make a construct in response and kind of be fine with that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Chalice on 1 off the top is kind of annoying, honestly. Because now our Pithing Needle that we had isn't really doing anything. Time to Chalice check. I'm a big fan of Chalice checking.
Yeah. The second disruptor flute, we don't know what it named, but it got it got dazed, so we don't know what it would have been naming anyway.
Definitely still anyone's game.
Yeah, that's true. The disruptor flute on board could be on Shuko.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is a weird one because I don't feel like I feel like TJ is definitely ahead right now, but it does not feel like overwhelming despite life totals.
I don't even think he's ahead personally because like we're gonna fetch a Surveil off of this, and then if we find a Nadu, we win the game very easily.
Yeah, like that's what I mean. Like.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it does not take much for Harrison to just get back into this game.
He drew swords.
Okay.
But there is still a Chalice on 1, so that's not going to do anything yet. The options here are we can Wrath for 2, which doesn't feel great because it gets rid of our entire board. So if we top deck an Nadu, we have nothing. But it gets rid of the Chalice, the Flute, which if the flute's on Shuko, it means nothing.
Yeah.
And it does, yeah, get rid of the Chromox.
Which is a little bit less impactful right now that he does have the basic.
Karak is back as Guy. We're going to Chalice check here. Alright, Harrison, play your own Disruptor Flute. In Boromir. We can't be wrathing, right?
Are we? We are.
What are we wrathing? If I'm TJ, I'm happy. I'm like so happy with this.
Yeah, I'm.
Did he name 0? Okay. The Chalice is gone. How many Wrath? Okay, so he plays 2 Wrath. So he's just banking energy. I mean, I guess. The other problem is, like, we can just play the Boromir and... Ooh, Cavern's pretty good.
Very good here.
Like, we can play the Boromir and just hold Caracas forever, so, like, getting rid of the Chalice doesn't do a whole lot.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm happy sacrificing my construct to not do a whole lot. That Saga was pretty good.
Might not be enough, though.
I think the plan... Like, we're not supposed to be... We can needle name Caracas and then swords.
No, the Shukos are fine. He looks like he Wrath of the Sky for 0.
He Wrath X's 2, paying 0.
Yeah.
So he banked 2 energy.
Yeah, so the Shukos would still be on board. So 2 Nomads.
I think we were supposed to play... I mean, now we're going to make a construct. But I think we're supposed to just needle name Caracas.
Brainstorm.
If we draw Nadu here, we are sitting pretty. He brought in Force of Negation.
Force of Negation Days.
Force of Negation Days land is what he drew off of that.
Not thrilled there.
So if we have the land, which I don't know if he kept the land on top, or if he kept the land in his hands. I still think last turn we were supposed to needle name Caracas and then just swords away the Boromir and then be happy. Guess we're just gonna pass again, make a construct and try to block.
I would say, well, mana's open. He can make a construct and still have
Looks like a
swords mana.
pass back from TJ. I don't think we have another 1-drop artifact to search for, but making a construct is pretty good. I thought I saw him board out the Soul Guide.
I was gonna say, yeah, if he took out the Soul Guide, then there wouldn't be. If you left it in, though, I guess we'll find out here. Nope. All right, just failed to find. Straight to shuffle.
Good old shuffle your deck for fun.
Notably, Urza Saga does say it does not say May. It just says search. So
Yeah.
you do actually have to go through the process.
Attack for 4 here. We're gonna Caracas. He's probably gonna swords in response.
Yep.
Two Ancient Tombs in TJ's hand is crazy work. That is one of the disadvantages of not playing blue, is that you just can for sure just peter out.
Yeah, I don't think it was wrong necessarily to like cut all like the One Rings and stuff, but not having that ability to. Part of the reason One Ring is so good, right, is that it lets you just draw so many cards back into the game.
Yeah.
Uh,
I don't think this Archon's that good. Is Archon a 2/2 or a 3/3?
it is a 2/3.
That's tough. Well, now we're at 4, so it does represent a 2-turn clock. I also kind of last turn like attacking with the Nomads as well. Or at least one of them.
Just every little point here.
Well, because actually, since we made a construct, we can attack with both. Because if we attack with them, even if he blocks the Nomads, we can just redirect the damage to our constructs.
True.
And then just have the construct get through.
All right. See if Harrison can find his way out of this one.
I think it's more of TJ needs to find his way out, because TJ just has Ancient Tombs and an Archon of Emeria.
But at the same time, though, like if Harrison just draws dead here the next 2 turns,
Yeah. Because the constructs are 4/4s.
they should be, yeah, should be 4/4s right now.
We should play the Needle, grow them to 5s, because okay.
Turn card sideways.
If we block the Nomads, then we just can attack twice. I don't know. This is If we play the needle, that makes our constructs 5/5s, which now we can't. But if we play that, it makes them 5/5s, and then we have 2 nomads. TJ was at 24, so that's hitting for 12 each turn, which means that TJ would have to stay back again. Ooh.
Okay. Hard cast of force.
Yeah, we don't have lethal in play out on the breakfast side.
Yeah, even with
We drew a Wrath, which is not good enough. I think this game's gonna go to TJ.
I don't think I see an answer for this Archon in Harrison's hand. I mean, I guess he could Wrath here, buy himself a turn.
Yeah, then we have nothing, which is better than death, but not by much. So we're gonna hit TJ for 10 more, put him down to 4. Have to Wrath here.
I was like, I think, yeah, if that's his only answer, he's got to, yeah, and there's the 2 energy he had from last time. Because if he doesn't, he's definitely dead here.
I think up a ton of energy for no reason because we only have 2 Wraths.
Yeah. Not using the mana for anything else, so.
He might have a Daze in his hand. I can't remember. One of the cards, he has a Force and another card. I think it's a blue card. His Force blue card, Needle. A Witch Enchanter. I mean, that's not bad.
Interestingly, though, TJ is kind of like stuck on mana right now.
He does, like, if he taps this Ancient Tomb, he can't tap any more for the rest of the game, but also this could just be the last turn.
Yeah.
That's an uncounterable Witch Enchanter. He drew a Nadu. You have to Needle first, name Caracas. And then play Nadu, and we just have a blocker. / a way to win next turn. So both players are just in top deck mode. Like,
yeah.
If TJ draws a Swords here,
it's a white card.
I think it's another Witch Enchanter.
Oh.
So this game's gonna go to Harrison because TJ can't even cast it.
Oh, you're right. He can't.
And even if he did, it's not gonna matter because Nadu's just a 3/4 for 3 because reasons.
There are so many parts about Nadu that it's so funny. In Legacy, the card is honestly pretty fine. But there are so many problems with that card from a design standpoint.
Oh yeah. It looks like TJ is about to extend the hand. Say, yeah, you got it. Just no out.
I was gonna say he could have been just hoping for the bluff, like maybe you got something.
Yeah.
Pass the turn, try to sneak in that way, but.
All right, Harrison takes it in 2.
All right. So we got Carrie on the left here. He's one of our TOs up here in Columbus. He is playing OmniTell, playing against Cole Gable on land. Somebody was asking about lands. Yeah, I think I got the. Yeah, that camera mic should be muted. I think the only mic that's got sound coming through, yep, is the one here in the booth. Yep. So, our 5-0 cluster have all decided to ID. So we've got Carrie's 4-1 versus Cole, also 4-1. OmniTell versus Lands is gonna be a fun one, I think.
I'm pretty sure OmniTell is favored in this. I've never played the matchup myself, but I can't imagine Lands has a whole lot to do when the Sneak and Show hits the stack.
Yeah, I think that's the thing is just Cole. I mean, you know, theoretically, going in blind, you don't know exactly what your opponent's planning against. But also, we're in round 6 here. I think you've generally got an idea of what the people around you are probably playing. I'm pretty sure we all, you know, especially this deep into a tournament, or, you know, when you finish your matchup, you're kind of like walking around seeing what other people are playing, right?
It's more than likely Carrie knows what Cole's on than Cole knows what Carrie's on, just because Lands tends to take longer to finish anyway.
That's true.
So Carrie's probably taking a look and seeing, but OmniTell can finish their matches pretty quick.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised if Carrie knows what Cole's on, but not the opposite.
Oh yeah, I think this is really gonna come down to just can Carrie do the OmniTell thing, and I don't think there's gonna be too much really kind of getting in the way here. What is this? Oh, I did not realize there was I knew there was a Monty Python secret layer, so I've got the deck list pulled up here on Moxfield, and it's got the Dark Depths pulled up as the Monty Python secret layer version. I didn't realize that's what that was. So many secret layers that I just like miss. I would have absolutely gotten some of those.
There are far too many secret layers that exist at this point.
Yeah.
There are some cards you look at and you're like, this is crazy. So it looks like Cole has kind of the ideal land start of just exploration with an additional land. I don't remember if Carrie's on Mono Blue or if he's on Simic.
He is just on Mono Blue.
Okay.
Um,
So he should be able to play around the Wasteland pretty well.
yeah, is that the pond? Yeah, that's the that future site bordered ponder. Yeah, I'm assuming that is an island there on Carrie's side.
Looks like a secret layer.
Yeah. So I guess the one advantage here with being like the mono blue is it's a little bit easier to fight these wastelands, especially because Cole opens, exploration wasteland. It's very very good start for that deck, but
Looks like Carrie was looking for an additional land there because it looks like the only land, at least I can see, is a Mystic Sanctuary. Not the spot you want to be in when your opponent already has a wasteland in play and you don't have any other islands.
yeah, definitely not.
It is possibly as another island, I just can't see it. Crop rotation, sacrificing Beseiju. Yeah, I think you probably just let that go if you have any kind of interaction. Like, I don't think that's what we're trying to fight over here.
No, I don't.
Game
think
one's
so
going to be
either.
very just try to set up, like each player's going to try to set up what they're doing. Carry main deck, I believe, doesn't really have a whole lot of waste. He has a Brazen Borrower as his like point of interaction, a Flusterstorm, and Force of Wills to like stop a loam, but not really a whole lot to try to stop exactly what we're doing. Looks like Carrie's main way is just try to show and tell an Omni, cast an Emrakul, and go from there. Which, pretty good plan.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's a very good plan, especially in a matchup like this. I did see Carrie does have another island in hand. I did kind of see that flash there for a moment. So
Is that a stock up? I think he just drew either a stock up or a Flusterstorm.
he
Stock up is a very good card.
So it's one of those cards, like when it got spoiled, I was like, it seems all right. And then you play it one time and you go, oh, this is very good.
Ooh, interesting. He dredged back the loam and didn't hit a land. So in his hand is just a loam and a Beseiju, and we can't even Beseiju anything. So
Yeah.
we're gonna take up the Saga, probably just pass because we milled over another loam, so there's not even a reason to cast it. Along with, like, we're just gonna make a construct, and I don't know if the construct plan is gonna be good enough.
If well, there's 3 lands. Is the show and tell?
There's the show and tell.
There's show and tell.
If we have an Omni, we win the game probably right now, especially with that stock up. We can Beseiju the stock up. Ooh, or not the stock up. We can Beseiju the Omni, but casting a second Omni is pretty crazy. Here's a stock up. If he finds literally anything off of this, he wins immediately.
2, 3, 4, 5. All right, what you got, Carrie?
I see a One Ring. I see a Brazen Borrower. I see another stock up. So he's probably just gonna go One Ring stock up,
Yeah,
which
that gives
also
you,
really good.
That lets you look at 6 more cards.
Yeah,
like
his entire deck is essentially just a giant cantrip.
yeah. That's one of my favorite things about this deck. I played this deck. Oh God. Enough years that if I say the number out loud, I feel the gray hair start forming. But
I believe that was another. Ooh, Lorien Reveal just
draw
Ancestral.
cards. Oh goodness. Doing exactly the thing that he wants to do here, right?
What did he draw there? Another draw 3. Yeah, he's very unlikely to whiff here. Like, he definitely still can. Just another draw 3. That looks like a Cunning Wish,
Yes.
which is gonna grab Shared Summons,
Yes.
which is gonna let him grab Emrakul, Atraxa, hard cast both, and then just take an extra turn and kill Cole,
Yep.
which, by my calculations, is pretty good.
Math says game 1's gonna go to carry.
Having a monocolor deck and being able to just avoid the Wasteland lock,
Yeah.
pretty good.
That was a really big thing here. Because, yeah, if it had been like the Simic version, like he'd probably have been, going for like Trops and stuff. Very easy just to point
pop
away
his stuff off.
I really, really like the mono blue version right now. I think it's so weird. Like, stock up is a card. Like, it just makes the deck that much easier to play.
It is really cool.
Um,
Honestly, Carrie could just say, I will take none, and then go back to his turn, because he technically knows the cards that are in Cole's hand.
yeah.
Like, nothing Cole can do will stop what is happening. Okay. Looks like Cole's going to scoop it up. Not much he can do there. Like I said, that's kind of how I predicted game 1 was going to go. If they're both just going to try to do their thing. Neither of them have really any interaction. But OmniTell is far more streamlined.
Yeah. So just kind of looking at the lists here. Yeah, Carrie has 2 Cunning Wishes. So he doesn't even really need to do too much in the way of sideboarding. He's got Fairy Macabres you can make an argument for, just to kind of hit like Loams and stuff. Just kind of point spot hit those.
The back to basics is what I'm mainly looking at.
Yeah, but I mean at the same time you could also just make an argument he could just leave it in the board to.
Cunning Wish I think only gets instant.
Oh, does it? You're right.
Pretty sure.
Yeah, it's in. Yeah. You're right. So yeah, back to basics.
I could see out of his board probably the back to basics, maybe the surgical. Honestly, I don't think this is a matchup Carrie really cares about.
I don't think it is either. Like I said, back to basics, if he wants to.
I think that's more for like greedy mana based decks and just so happens to fight lands decently. What does the lands player have in his board?
Lands player has
So there's an Ancient Tomb. Ancient Tomb on the board's interesting.
3 Force of Vigors.
Disruptor Flute is pretty good. That seems to be the theme of today so far, is people just playing Disruptor Flute and it working out pretty well.
It's a very good card, and I think due in part to just how many decks are effectively cheating mana cost in some capacity, right? Because like even if he's got Omniscience out, if Disruptor Flute on something, it's for free, but then +3, so it's like.
Yeah, not a whole lot from the lands player in their board that's going to help in this matchup. The Force of Vigors and the Disruptor Flutes are the only thing I'm looking at. What's left is Ancient Tomb, Endurance, Fairy Macabre, Pithing Needle, Dismember, and Twin Shot Sniper. None of which are good at all.
Yeah, not here. I think
this matchup's going to be pretty cut and dried of just being in Carrie's favor. Because the lands player is already going to be on the slower deck that's not going to be nearly as streamlined with not a lot of great interaction. Because honestly, the Force of Vigor is like, that's more of a, I'm going to bring this in because I have to.
Yeah.
Because if he just casts a Show and Tell and just puts an Emrakul in play,
Carrie
doesn't care.
Yeah, I'm not, I think the Force of Vigors need to come in here, but it's not like, it feels good to bring them in.
Yeah. It's
not like a hi, gotcha. It's like if I don't, I'm definitely screwed. Whereas if I bring them in, I'm only potentially screwed. Yeah, this is a rough matchup for lands, but
specifically the mono blue version. I think the Simic version they're probably a little better into because they can try to like Wasteland lock.
Agreed. Yeah, it's the mono blue. Yeah, Carrie's playing 5 basic islands. With 7 fetch lands, he's almost always going to be able to just have basics. Now, Carrie is playing, 4 Ancient Tombs, 1 City of Traders, so it's not like the Wastelands are completely dead, but they're not.
They're just pretty bad.
Yeah, they're pretty bad here.
Most of the time, if Carrie's putting an Ancient Tomb or a City of Traders into play, he's probably just using it to play a Show and Tell or a stock up.
Yeah.
And at that point, like, the damage is already done.
Yeah.
Like, if he just goes Island into City of Traders and it gets Wastelanded, he's like, all right. Cool. I guess.
And like, realistically speaking, I don't think it's unreasonable for Carrie, like knowing he's going into a Wasteland deck. even if he like misses a land drop, just to hold the Ancient Tomb until he knows like, okay, I've got an island in play, you know, show and tell in hand, but like, or you know, or he's got the Ancient Tomb in hand, but he doesn't just not quite enough, man. You know what I'm trying to say? Like,
Yeah,
just to
like
sit on
Ancient
it.
Tomb is essentially just a double Lotus Petal.
Yeah, like just to sit on it like that.
There were plenty of times, especially whenever Frog was legal, that people would just hold their frogs because they're like, well, this is just gonna die immediately. But if I draw one of my big guys, I'd need a discard outlet. And then they would be like, okay, cool, I'll play this. And then immediately they're like, I'll fatal push it or something to that effect. And then they're like, I'll discard a big guy.
Yeah. All right. So we're resolving mulligans.
Gary looks like he has a Lorien Revealed and an Ancient Tomb in his hand. Not the most amazing hand, because if that Ancient Tomb gets wastelanded, Carrie's not doing anything.
Yeah.
Which, obviously, you can't fully base everything off, do they have the wasteland?
Yeah.
You will be able to find the island, which is nice.
Yeah. Unfortunately, like, it is one of those things, like, it is a wasteland format, but, you know, if the rest of his hand is strong enough without it, like...
Well, they pushed a wasteland.
Okay.
I think I see a second one. Yeah, there's a wasteland.
Okay. So that probably makes this feel a little bit worse. I mean, it could just rip an island off the top. So
if he rips an island, it's really good because he already, like I said, has the...
All right, so we're going to force this
pitch
rumble.
stock up.
Yeah.
Oh, no, that was an Ancient Tomb that he played.
Oh, you're right. You're right. Okay. Okay.
They look almost identical. So we're just going to Island Cycle on Cole's turn. There's the Wasteland. Island Cycle the Lorien in response. Which, like I said, doesn't feel amazing to trade an Ancient Tomb for just a basic island, but we're not out of the game.
Oh, yeah, absolutely not. And again, it's one of those interactions, like, you just have to accept sometimes you're just going to have to walk into it.
Yeah.
He
knew full well when he kept that hand that was more than likely what was going to happen.
Yeah. Now, granted, we haven't seen a loam just yet. I don't think I've seen one in
It looks like he has a City of Traders in his hand. Yeah, Carrie has a City of Traders in his hand, so it looks like next turn, more than likely, we're going to play a city and then stock up, try to find...
What is that Cole played?
Oh, it looks like we also drew a basic island.
Oh, that's... Okay, so...
So we can just hold the city for next turn, because then we can just play the One Ring and be
yeah, just hard cast
happy.
One Ring, yeah. That feels perfectly fine.
Crop rotation. Do we have a counterspell? I think in this spot, if we had a counterspell, I'm fine firing it off, as opposed to last game.
Yeah.
And that's a Dark Depths.
That is a Dark Depths.
I'm not sure what that land is.
It's the Hatsune Miku.
Oh, we're going to petty theft the guy.
Oof.
Ooh.
Yep. I didn't know there was a Miku Thespian stage 2, man. The only one I remember seeing that mattered was the Song of Creation.
There's too many secret
Or I
layers.
guess there was a Snapcaster, the like bonus card Snapcaster mage out of that secret layer that's like $1,000 or somebody was saying, something like that.
I do like the play from goal. I think that like just forcing the issue is pretty reasonable.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And now the game, like the advantage bar is just in Carrie's favor because we have an active One Ring. We basically double strip mined our opponent and still can have a 3-1 to show for it if we want, which he's probably just gonna like draw some more cards, play a stock up, or he might just draw the show until here.
Looked like that was maybe another ring.
Yeah, more than likely just play a stock up here, try to find a thing. There's 2 brainstorms. Can't tell what those other 2 cards are.
Maybe a borrower?
I think I see a polluted delta in that pile.
Maybe.
Which would definitely be
that...
interesting if that's a polluted delta. That is a polluted delta.
Oh, I see that Cunning Wish.
Is that a polluted delta?
He
does not have a polluted delta in his deck. I'm gonna go pause. Because that's his deck list, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, similar situation to earlier where Roland accidentally had a Pyroblast in his deck or he had the Force Negation in his deck but registered a Pyroblast. Carrie has 3 Flooded Strands that are supposed to be Polluted Deltas on his deck list. So he has the Polluted Deltas in his deck and Flooded Strands on his deck list. Functionally, they make no difference in the deck, but that doesn't matter at a Comp REL event.
It is still a deck registration error.
It is a deck reg error, so they're going to go to Game 3. They are going to fix the deck lists. Carrie will be on the play. But unfortunately, because he didn't change his deck list, we have a similar situation earlier where they will be getting a game loss for not updating deck list.
That is... Yeah, it's an unfortunate mistake to make. A very easy one to make too, especially, maybe you just register something. You say, oh, I've already got these ones right here, kind of thing.
His exact reason, which is a good reason by the way, is he wanted the Polluted Deltas instead of the Flooded Strands because he wanted people to think he was on blue-black whenever he played his first fetch. So he would just play Polluted Delta and pass. Very valid reason to do it. It's very minor edge points, but when doing that you have to make sure your deck list is updated. Every time I upload deck list at this point, I always triple check everything unless it's one that I've just had together for months and nothing's changed. It's okay, I can just upload
if I know that I haven't edited a deck list since the last time I used it or something.
Even still, you should double check, but unfortunately in this situation not much can be done. Carrie was looking very good in that game.
Yeah, I'm sure Cole's probably got some mixed feelings. On the one hand, he managed to basically take a game win here that it looked like it was probably not going to go his way. But now Carrie's on the play.
Yes, both players did get to keep 7 this game. Carrie's hand looks pretty good. I think there were 2 Atraxas and I did see 2 Brainstorms.
Okay. Let's pitch Otawara, Pitch Otawara is interesting.
Disruptor Flute.
Ooh, okay.
If he hits Show and Tell Force of Will here, that's so good. But I don't think he did. I believe that's a Lorien and a stock up. I think he drew a second Ancient Tomb. So probably going to put back the 2 Atraxas. Or at least an Atraxa and another card he doesn't want. Probably Island Cycle and Upkeep.
Yeah.
One of the Ancient Tombs is what he put back, yeah. Yeah, looks like he wanted that. Just probably going to stock up, choose anything but the Atraxa. Stop at 5.
Yep, later 5.
It's not dig through time.
He might have been trying to do the Atraxa,
So I think I see a Show and Tell in that pile. Looks like he's putting back 2 stock ups and a Traxa. Not sure what the cards he picked up were.
Alright, then what?
Carrie, show me.
I say, do we know what? We probably don't know. There's any number of cards I think that would be good to hit with this Disruptor Flute. Show and Tell is probably the
main one.
The big one, yeah. Because slowing down the Show and Tell is going to slow down everything else.
All right, so it looks like a Traxa stock up, and then I think one other card I'm not too sure of. I think it might have been a Show and Tell. Believe Flute named Show and Tell.
Yeah, we're not 100% sure. That's just a guess. Could also be Show and Tell feels like the right choice. I was gonna say I was about to say you could make an argument depending on what Cole had in hand, what he was planning on doing. Maybe name Force of Will, but clearly didn't.
Yeah. I do think Force of Will is in the spot that he cast it the almost entirely wrong name. Just due to the fact of we name Force of Will, if Carrie untaps and plays a Show and Tell, we just look stupid.
Well, and that's why I was like, if Cole just had the win basically in hand and just was needing to get it through in the next turn or two, then I think it would have been a fine, maybe not the best call, but I think it would have been reasonable. But again, where we can't quite see what he's got in hand,
it'd be really funny if he named Petty Theft.
Oh, that would have been.
Brainstorm from Carry. Playing with his cards a little off screen. He doesn't want to show us. That looks like 2 Lorien revealed and a unknown card.
Yeah, needle probably on ring. Seems like the...
He put a ring back, so very likely. Looks like he put ring and Lorien back. So he still has a Lorien in his hand. Just gonna fetch a basic island here. I'm not sure if he has a stock up or not. But if he does have... I'm not sure what that says. It's a little too glary.
I think that is supposed to be show and tell.
But if he does have show and tell named under that, if Carey has one in his hands, then I saw an Ancient Tomb, so he's able to just cast it next turn.
Yeah. That is...
That's a Cunning Wish, I believe.
No, I think that is the...
Oh, that's Ponder.
Yeah, that's that Mystery Booster.
They
Future Sight.
all the Future Sight ones kind of look the same.
They do. So hot take. I actually really like the Future Sight border.
Oh, they're great.
The amount of people who are like, I hate it, stupid looking. It's like, well, you're wrong.
I use the Future Sight bordered Thassa's Oracle.
Mm-hmm.
I do think they could have done a little bit more effort on some of the arts, because like if it's the original art, it's just kind of zoomed in a little.
Yeah.
And it's like, I mean, we didn't really put in a whole lot of effort on this.
No, my favorite Ponder art still. It's that full art one with the turtle.
Yeah.
I love that turtle one. He's
The
got a little,
one with the little donut.
yeah, he's got a hot dog and some pizza. I love that dude.
That makes sense. You like
Yeah,
the
yeah,
hot
right,
dog.
right.
Still deciding on this Ponder, if he wants to shuffle or not. If there's not a show and tell in there, I wouldn't be surprised if he just shuffles away. We can also, next turn, just hardcast a Lorien Revealed, because Cole's not doing a whole lot.
No.
He could make a construct on his turn, but I'm not really that scared of a construct if I'm Carry.
No, I don't think. I mean, unless the construct is like a 15-15. And even then, I don't think Carrie needs to be that pressed.
Looks like we're just gonna float a mana. Let's see what we grab here. What? So we have not a whole lot of silver bullet targets.
I was gonna say, yeah. There's not.
He might grab like a map and just try to make a land drop that he think matters.
Yeah, could grab map. Could grab.
Looks like he's grabbing the map. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I was gonna say there's not a whole lot of really good choices here.
Yeah, there's not, especially against Omni, there's not I'm going to grab this card and be happy. Like, if you're against Cephalid, you can grab Cage. If you're against, like, Mystic Forge, you can grab a Pithing Needle and kind of name something random and be happy with it.
Yeah.
But nothing, like, no one mana artifact is really going to stop a show and tell. Like, it might stop something you put in play. Like, if you grab a Needle and have, like, name the One Ring. Like, if you didn't already have a Needle on One Ring, then I'm down.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. If there wasn't already a Needle on One Ring, then that would be the... Is this a Malevolent Rumble? Yeah.
So, that's a Depths...
As a depth, a stage,
Beseiju
Beseiju, and a flute.
Yeah. What do you grab here?
So,
It's tough because I kind of want to grab the flute just to like double insulate against a show and tell.
That's what I was
feel like that's the
thinking.
only way we lose. Yeah.
And so yeah, I agree. I think yeah, and name show and tell again.
Because like realistically, we do have some time. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, definitely.
Okay. So Carrie opts to not just cast the Lorien Reveal next turn. He probably didn't like the top 2 cards of his deck because he knew what they were off the Ponder.
Mm-hmm.
And just decided, hey, I'm going to take this one. The other downside of playing mono blue as opposed to the the Simic build of Show and Tell is, at least with that build, you have more opportunities to like hardcast Atraxa.
Yeah.
Because you can play like Carpet of Flowers and you play Lotus Petals. So you can eventually just hardcast Attracts if you really need to. It's very unlikely, but in a game like this where neither player really has any pressure, but you're stuck with it in your hands, you're kind of happy to just do that.
Yeah. Alright, so we're going to see... a brainstorm here from Carrie. I mean, I think at this point, yeah, just looking for anything.
There's the polluted delta. He's looking at them like they're a ponder. Does he realize he cast Brainstorm? He kind of looked at 3 and then drew 1. I don't know.
It's also entirely possible he was going to keep the cards in his hand.
There's a lot of lands in there, though.
Well, to be fair, I mean, he might... I would say if Show and Tell is going to cost 9, Omniscience costs 10, like... he has no way of hard casting the Attracts in hand. He might just be saying, all right, I just need to last.
And just hardcast the Omni.
Yeah. Or 9 mana cast Show and Tell. Because, yeah, 9 mana to cast Show and Tell it sucks.
Oh, yeah.
But if it resolves, that can put him back in.
Which... he kind of has unlimited time. The time that he's gonna lose is by him hitting himself with this Ancient Tomb.
Yeah, because we have not seen really anything threatening out of Cole.
Yeah.
And I think that's the biggest thing that's keeping Carrie in this game right now, is that Cole has not, I have not seen a Life from the Loam, right? We have not seen a Loam.
He did not mill over a Loam. I think the way he's going to try to win this game is probably crack the map, grab a Saga.
Yeah.
It's flicking his cards a little too fast to see, but I see a Yavimaya. I'm a big fan of just crack map, grab Saga, and try to eventually beat down with constructs. When I say I'm a big fan, I think it's our only real game plan.
Yeah.
I'm not the biggest fan of it, but it looks like he agrees. Alright, so Carrie has a Ponder. It's probably in survival mode of try to not hurt myself as much anymore. Because he has an Ancient Tomb in a city, so we currently have 5 in play.
That's another Ponder.
So if he plays... I see an Emrakul in that pile. I think a Show and Tell too. I'm not too sure. But if he plays an Ancient Tomb, says go, and then plays a city, we have 9 mana.
Yeah.
Which...
That's kind of where I'm thinking. He could also... There's also a non-zero chance he could dig for, Brazen Borrower.
Yeah. The issue with Brazen Borrower in this scenario specifically is you really only want to hit a construct token, because we can hit a flute, but that costs us 2 mana and the flute has flash.
Yeah.
So it's not like we can go end step bounce it and then they can just replay it.
Well, it also just depends on he might be able to get have a gotcha with Cole.
Yeah.
I don't think it's the play to make, but
I think it's Show and Tell, Emrakul, some third card. And he's drawing the Show and Tell. Just play Ancient Tomb and pass is my guess.
Yeah, because if he goes Ancient Tomb next turn, Show and Tell
6 mana. Lower new. Okay. A little ghost.
I like that little animation.
Alright, 8. I did see a Show and Tell in his hand. Not the biggest fan of discarding the One Ring. We have 3 lands in our hands. And even if we have to cast it for a turn to just gain protection, it's not the worst thing.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know if people know about the fun interaction with the One Ring. If you play the One Ring, gain protection, Ancient Tomb does no damage to you.
Mm-hmm.
Very fun. I don't think Cole has a whole lot going on here. I think he's just trying to make some constructs and hope that Carrie has nothing. Which he also just now gave Carrie a way to tap these Ancient Tombs for no mana, or without dealing damage, if he wanted to.
Which, I mean, unfortunately, I think for Carrie in this case, he does need all of the Ancient Tomb mana.
Crop rotation. Okay, so no longer is able to do that.
That's fine. He probably wasn't going to be doing that anyway.
I think there's an Omniscience in... Okay. That one's pretty good.
Yeah, now
yeah, you have to pop that now. 100%. Plays the Yavimaya for turn. As a second Yavimaya for turn.
Yeah.
So he can make a construct. And this is where I wish we kind of kept the One Ring. We can play City, play the One Ring, and then just pass, and then we can't get hit by constructs. Because if he doesn't have a way to deal with these constructs, he actually just loses on Cole's turn. Because Cole can make a construct, make another construct on his turn, and then grab a Lava Spur Boots. And we don't have any interaction for that. I believe there's 2 show and tells in Carrie's hands. Here comes the City, so he's gonna have probably just hardcast the Lorien revealed. Yeah. I think we're just dead.
I think so.
Assuming Cole kept in the Lava Spur. If this is how Carrie goes out, that'd be very sad to lose to a deck reg error.
Yeah.
Double Disruptor Flu is very tough to deal with. But like I said, I do think we're supposed to keep that. Do think we're supposed to keep the One Rings. That way we can just at least gain protection for a turn. It's not ideal, obviously, but it's better than dying. Make a guy. Untap, make a guy. He might have drawn the Lava Spur. Which would be funny if he drew the Lava Spur, because then if he doesn't have another mana source, he can't kill this turn.
Yeah. Alright, let's see. Is it still in the deck?
Yep. In the deck. Equip to the Summoning Sick one. Send in. That's the game.
Dang.
Unfortunate loss for Carrie. That is probably going to knock him out of top 8 contention. Very, very likely to. Tough way to lose out of top 8, just to not swap your fetch lands over.
All right, we are back for the last round of Swiss here for the Legacy Open 4. Buffalo Chicken Dip here in Columbus, Ohio, resolving mulligans right now. We got Wyatt Gibson playing Naughty Breakfast versus Cameron McGraw on lands. Somebody earlier was asking about lands. It's like, oh yeah, we had lands on here earlier. And then we had lands.
A lot of lands.
It's a very popular deck today and is doing very well. I mean, I guess. And so yeah, I think it might be one of those things. It might look like it's doing well because there's so many of the decks here.
Yeah.
But alright, well.
Probably gonna grab a Plains off of this, I assume.
Yeah.
There's an active Wasteland in play. There's no reason to play into it. But on the other side, we have Naughty Breakfast. This matchup historically has been pretty good for Breakfast because lands doesn't really do a whole lot to stop you. They have some 1-mana artifacts to slow you down, but if you just do the 1-2 punch, like, lands doesn't really beat it.
Yeah, I mean,
they can crop rotation for something. Like, they can crop rotation for a Bajuka Bog at instant speed, but if you have a force, like, you just win the game.
And even then, like unless they're just like
wasteland, 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 life from the limb, wasteland, wasteland, wasteland kind of turns. Like the tempo you get back, assuming say both decks draw average, right? The tempo that the Nadu deck brings, just being able to draw so many cards, put so many lands back into play, like 1 or 2 wastelands is not going to be that impactful on average.
Yeah. Looks like we're gonna crop rotation at sorcery speed, which is definitely interesting. If I see a Nomads, I'm probably holding on to that. I think I see a Cephalid in Wyatt's hand, which very much confirms the want to hold on to a crop rotation, especially if we're not going to get like an untapped green source and have another crop rotation, because I think his plan here might be to get like a Yavimaya and then or Tabernacle. That's reasonable. I don't think it's that great here because like we just can pay the one and it's not like we're gonna get wastelanded.
Yeah.
There is a Cephalid in his hand. I did see that. But Wyatt only needs 1 turn to win, and it doesn't really matter if his creature lives.
Yeah.
I'm much more of a fan of just crop rotationing for a Bajuka Bog at instant speed. Yeah, we can just get the basic island here and just be so happy.
Yep.
I believe he has a Savannah in his hand, unless he bottomed that with his mulligan. Looking at his list, he has 1 of Tamiyo, 4 Nadu, 4 Illusionist, 4 Nomads, which all makes sense.
I like the Tamiyo in this list.
I haven't decided how many Tamiyos I like. So it looks like we play a Shuko and then just attack with the Nomads, which makes sense. The other downside of getting the Tabernacle now, it doesn't tap for mana.
Yeah.
So we're not doing anything.
I think I don't hate Cameron going for the Tabernacle, but I do agree. I think just being holding that more aggressively. Is that a Caracas?
It's a Caracas casting alone, getting back some lands.
Yes.
But
I'm still
we're just dead. Like we are. He doesn't know it, but he is dead.
Yeah.
Like, on board.
Yeah, and I think that's the hard thing about like the Nadu breakfast list is you plan around, the Nadu, the Shuko, all of the interaction, and sometimes they just go, Nomad Cephalid.
He also, if he doesn't have, if Wyatt doesn't have a 3rd land here, he can just let the Nomads die, which it looks like that's what he's gonna do, because he has the Shuko, and if he just plays the Cephalid, assuming both Narcomoebas are still in the deck, yeah, he's gonna let it die. If he doesn't draw a Narcomoeba or like a Dread Return here, he can just slam the Cephalid.
Yeah.
And lands doesn't typically play any main deck removal. Oh, he has the Thoracle in his hand, so we can't go for it. Unless, does he have a? He does not have a Cabal Rich or a Cabal Therapy.
He does not, but yeah, so one of the funny things, looking at Wicked's comment here in the chat, is you get on one hand, yeah, people who are just like, yeah, I'm just full deck proxied, I'm just here to play Legacy, and then you get people who are like, yes, I'm going to have every single card blinged out to the max.
Mm-hmm.
We had, like I said, we had Roland Chang on, first thing this morning. He's notorious for basically just fully blinging out these decks. There's several regulars here. Claire out there with like the Cradle control deck, with the foil cradles.
Yeah.
And surprised to see Chris Schreiber not here today, but also with like the 4 and black border Underground Seas and Volcanic Islands and everything else is foil full arts.
So I also see what Wyatt's doing here. So his Savannah got wastelanded. He's going to get back these Narcomoebas and just flash back a Memories Journey, probably targeting a single blue source.
Mm-hmm.
And then just leave his creatures in play, mill his entire deck over, flash it back, because he, like I said, has the Thoracle in his hand. Cameron being smart, not conceding, just like waiting until he shows it, because like I said, Wyatt
making
does
him
have
go
it.
through the line.
Yeah, Wyatt has it in his hand. But once we cast this, I don't think Lands is going to have a way to stop us, per se. Like, I don't think Lands has any target player mills a card.
I don't think so.
So he puts 3 blue sources back on top.
Yeah, this is a pretty just straightforward, no spicy lands cards today. Just pretty stock.
Yeah, Bajuka Bog's gonna do nothing. Odawara won't do anything. Thespian Stage. None of the lands are gonna do anything. He's just gonna let all of his creatures die to the Thespian Stage and upkeep.
Yeah.
And then he's just gonna draw a blue source, which potentially putting all 3 blue sources back on top can be a punt, because if Cameron has an Odawara, it buys him a turn, which I don't know what it does. Like if that saves us per se. But if we only put 1 back on top, then we're kind of fine.
Yeah.
Okay. So we're gonna Dredge Return back Nadu, double equip, 2 triggers, get 2 blue sources, play Thoracle. That makes sense. Not a line I've done myself, but very smart.
All right, and then let's see, make sure we get the right indicators marked. Yep. All right, so that's Wyatt Gibson up game 1. Very breakfast. It does the thing.
Yep.
It's always done the thing. Now it just does the thing better.
I'm a big breakfast guy. Love
Yeah.
scrambled eggs.
Oh man.
But yeah, breakfast is my usual deck of choice when it comes to Legacy. At last Eternal Weekend, I played it to a 6-3 start day 1, and then looked at day 2, what time it started. It was at 9. I was like, I'm not making everyone wake up. So I was like, I'm not gonna play day 2. But that was also whenever like Reanimator with Frog was legal and Eldrazi was good. Oh my god, I hated Eldrazi.
Eldrazi
was so boring.
awful. And then to be fair though, like the Psychic Frog, I love that card. I miss that card. I'm glad I don't have to play against that card.
Yeah.
Because again, it's one of those things like, well, when I play it, it feels fair, but when everyone else plays it,
why is it when my opponent plays Psychic Frog, they have so many more cards in hand
Yeah.
than I play Psychic Frog?
I play Psychic Frog. I've got 2 cards in hand. They play Psychic Frog. They've got 17 Atraxes and then 3 Reanimates in hand. And it's like, all right, well, I'm happy for you, bud.
I'm happy for you. I'm glad you have this. All right, so from Wyatt's side in his board, I am a fan of... He has 1 Cavern, 1 Consign, 1 Fairy Macabre, 1 Flusterstorm, 2 Force Negation, 1 Hydra. There's a lot of 1-ofs in his sideboard, and not all of them are artifacts you can grab off of an Urza Saga.
I think I'm a fan of...
I
think I'm a fan of Force Negations.
Force Negation, Pithing Needle, Prismatic Ending, Serenity, Teferi Tamiyo.
I would say, yeah, I definitely, Teferi is it's just the one of in the sideboard, but I think in this matchup in particular,
Teferi bouncing first of all, a Dark Depths token, great. That's
Yeah.
like the ideal thing. But if they play a Saga later and you can catch a Saga on 1, just being able to bounce it and time walk your opponent's pretty good.
yeah, I mean the amount of things it hits, like,
Or if your opponent doesn't even have the loam stuff going on, if you bounce back a Mox Diamond, that's
yeah,
insane.
that sets them back so much because then they have to have another extra land to do stuff.
Which they are named lands. They're probably going to have a land, but that's a land they're not going to get to play out of their hand.
Yeah, it makes them burn through more of their resources faster. And yeah, so yeah, a lot of 1-ofs. I don't...
Tamiyo lets him play the backup plan of, hey, I'm going to just draw half my deck, which is, pretty good. Or so I've been told. Consign, you can make an argument to bring in, because they do play a lot of artifacts. They play a lot of things that you kind of... Like, you can stifle an Urza Saga trigger as well,
Yeah.
which is not terrible. I think you can make an argument to leave it out or kind of pick. The bigger question is, what are you cutting? Because I think you're probably going to cut... Let's see. It depends on how many cards you're going to bring in, obviously.
So I think on the draw, I think he's got 2 dazes. I think you could probably cut the dazes.
I would cut. He has a 1-of step through.
I think the
would
step
cut
through
that.
cuts. So yeah, like the dazes can get cut. I think the step through can get cut. Maybe I would say.
I think you could
probably
cut
a swords or
Shuko.
2. Maybe a Shuko. Maybe a swords. I think you still want to keep some number of swords in case he does get the Merit Lage token online. But I don't think you need... he's got 3 in the main. I think you could probably trim 1. I think trim 1 be fine.
let's see Cameron's board. So in Cameron's board, he has some Dismembers, which I like, Disruptor Flute, Endurance, Fairy Macabre, Force of Vigor, Ghost Quarter, Pithing Needle, Twin Shot Sniper. I
actually really like the Ghost Quarter.
It's okay. My biggest issue with the Ghost Quarter is like if he's not playing around Wasteland, if he's just like I'll just run out my stuff and hope it doesn't get wastelanded, then the Ghost Quarter just kind of looks bad.
Mm-hmm.
But if your goal is to take him off of the basics, then
I think that's why I like it
Yeah.
right now is because I think it's very easy for Wyatt to say, yeah, I'm just going to play around Wasteland, and then if you get it's kind of like that gotcha card. It's like it's not always going to get him, but when it does, it feels really good.
Yeah.
Because
I actually also don't mind the Twin Shot Snipers. Because
Yeah.
it's just an uncounterable way to hit a Cephalid or a Nomads if they don't have another creature.
yeah, just kind of snipes them there.
It's not amazing. Like if I'm between Dismember or Twin Shot Sniper, I'm 100% bringing in Dismember.
Oh yeah.
But if you want all the kill effects that you can, then Twin Shot's not terrible. I think I see a Twin Shot in his hand, but I'm not 100% sure. It looks like he's taking a mulligan here. Not sure if Wyatt's gonna keep a 7. But definitely what you want to see from Wyatt, because anytime Lance keeps a 7, you're very like, okay, what kind of busted start to
Yeah. Lance player keep 7. I feel like the immediate thought is you're gonna see like Mox Diamond Exploration, just start doing all sorts of big mana stuff.
All right, let's see if Nadu has the deck right here.
That would put us. That would theoretically, I think, put us 3 for 3 on
3 for
the
3.
Land's opponent having the deck reg error and winning game 2.
Yeah, it's not even necessarily Lance is performing well. It's that every Lance opponent has had a deck reg error, so they win a game they're not supposed to, and then win the last game. The first match was against Delver, and they're supposed to win that match anyway. So like that one was probably whatever. But against like whenever Carrie was playing, that wasn't supposed to happen.
That matchup is in my experience, just kind of looking at it, it's like that's like 70-80% in OmniTell's favor.
Especially with how that game 2 was playing out.
Yeah.
Like Carrie was not losing that game. He had that wrapped up, but unfortunately we noticed the deck reg error at the most unopportune time for him.
Yeah. All right. So we're gonna open with a Once Upon a Time into a Wasteland here from Cameron.
Mox
And then-
Diamond's pitching probably the Wasteland. He looks like he's gunning to get rid of it.
Pitching
Oh,
a
gets rid of
Dark
Dark
Depths.
Depths.
Yeah.
He was holding on to it. He was ready.
Yeah.
Saga? Yeah. So we're going to start making constructs on 2 more than likely, unless we want a Wasteland, but... One drop
We got
artifacts.
more going.
Cage is
Graph
pretty
Digger's Cage.
decent.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I'm also a fan of how, well, like, Temur Reanimator, for example, how you can pivot off the Reanimator package completely and just play a mid-range game.
Mm-hmm.
I would do that a ton with Breakfast. Where,
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like, the list that I was playing for a while didn't have Tamios in it, because this was before we're like, oh, we should just put a Tamio in
Mhm.
this. But like I said, I was playing Triumph of St. Catherine, but I was also playing some Brazen Borrowers on board, because that let you really play a mid-rangey game.
So I was playing. I've apologies to any regular Buffalo Chicken Dip listeners. You're gonna hear me talk about how I've been playing Temur Delver, basically since Psychic Frog got banned and I couldn't play Grixis Delver anymore. But like I've played around and experimented with some other decks, and I was playing a Nadu breakfast list that was playing like the Bristly Bills. As just kind of a beat down package that also triggers your Nadus.
Yeah.
And it's that same kind of thing. It's like, hey, I could just take the breakfast stuff out, go into Bristly Bill Beatdown.
Now his name is Bristling Billions, because that card is $70.
What?
They are $70 now. First, it spiked up to like 30, 40 just off Commander, and now there's a standard deck that plays it, so they are $70 a
my
piece.
Goodness. All right. I bought 2 for Legacy, so I guess I'm only having 2 for Legacy.
So it looks like he decides to wasteland the land instead of making constructs, which I can see it.
He's
The
still
only
gonna
downside is we're not really going to kill our opponent.
Yeah. We are going to get...
And this is one of those draws from Breakfast where like the Ghost Quarter would look kind of mediocre, where
Yeah.
like they've only had non-basics, so Wasteland is just doing a better job.
Mm-hmm.
That's not to say that that's always going to be the case, but sometimes your fetches and breakfast don't line up the way you want them to, and you're like, well, I guess I have to fetch a dual land and hope it doesn't get popped.
And again, mentioned it earlier about how it's a Wasteland format. Sometimes you just have to play into it, and if they've got it, they've got it.
Yeah.
I had that conversation with a buddy of mine maybe a year or two ago. I was playing something silly that was like a really greedy mana base. And he's like, you're gonna get wastelanded. And it's like, I'm gonna get wastelanded no matter what I do. Like, I've no reason to be afraid of it. Like, play around it as best as I can, sure, but like,
I was getting so tired of Wasteland. This was when Eldrazi was legal, or Mycospawn was legal. So you were just getting like double Wastelanded on like turn 3.
yeah.
To where I built what I called Bant Wasteland, which was just a deck that was fetches, basics, like one of each dual, besides the Savannah. So like 1 Tundra, 1 Trop, and then just 4 Wastelands and Loam. So it's like, you can't Wasteland me, but I can Wasteland you. Because I was just getting so tired of it, and it actually wasn't that bad. I mean, it's Legacy, so you can do whatever. Here comes another Wasteland on the Hedge Maze, which looks like we have a basic Plains and a Saga in our hand. He has a Shuko already in his hand. I think I just want to play the Plains and the Shuko. Or if he has a Nomads, that's also pretty bad, or pretty decent. There. Pending.
Oh, okay. Ooh.
That's really good. Now both players are low on mana, and when lands doesn't have the loam going, it's a lot better for their opponent.
Yeah, this is
I think he has a crop rotation in his hand,
which is not going to do a whole lot right now.
Nope. If he draws a green source, though, it is really good to be able to Saga, go get something, but also sack the Saga to the crop rotation before the activation fully goes off. I think his other card in hand's a Thespian Stage. Caracas. Okay. I think his hand is Exploration Crop Rotation, and we don't have a green source.
Eek. Yeah, it's a rough spot to be in for Cameron. I mean, it's Wyatt's not in a particularly great spot either.
He does have another Urza Saga in his hand, so we're gonna start.
Oh, he's in a much better spot. Never mind.
We're gonna start making some constructs and do what lands wants to do to us.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's kind of hard exactly to see what's Wyatt's got in hand. So he's only got presumably the one other Shuko. If he brought in a Pithing Needle, there's not a whole lot of Urza Saga targets, but I mean, start making constructs.
I'm a huge fan against Wasteland decks, just bring in the Needle to name Wasteland.
Yeah.
Making a construct just so he doesn't get needled makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Not quite sure what he's going to grab off this Saga. He has a couple options. I don't think any of them are particularly great. He already has the Cage in play.
He's got the Boots in play.
Boots with the Spur.
So it's going to be Map or Needle, and I think it's got to be Needle named Saga. Like, there's not...
there's not really a better line. This is also one of the downsides of playing lands, where it's kind of like Titan, where sometimes whenever you play some of your utility lands, like, you unfortunately draw them.
Yeah.
And they don't do anything. Like, when you draw your Bajuka Bog, it feels awful, because you're like, this is something I want in the deck to either crop rotation, or I want this at a different time, but I need to play this on 1 so I can play my other spells on 2, and then if my other lands get taken away, then I'm just left with this dud.
Yeah. That's kind of the spot that Cameron's in. He's just kind of stuck.
So yeah, more than likely this Pithing Needle's on the Saga. Can't confirm anything, though, but I don't see Cameron winning this game.
I can't imagine that Cameron would have named anything else. I mean, especially with 2 Sagas, staring him right in the face.
Yeah.
It does not seem particularly likely that there was anything else named.
If he does have a Shuko still left in the deck, if he didn't cut one, or he has a Needle, pretty sure that says there's a Saga. Well, there's a Ghost Quarter.
Well,
Ghost Quartering the 1 on 2? That makes sense. I mean, we still don't have a clock.
No. Neither player really has one.
I mean, Wyatt's gonna crash in for 4 next turn.
Yeah.
Which is a 5-turn clock, which lands, I think, with what his configuration is in hand, needs more than 5 turns to crawl out of this.
Mm-hmm. That said, though, I mean, like,
Because like if the needle's on Saga, he can't even play Saga, draw lands, and do anything.
I'll say I mean, there are a handful of cards that Cameron could draw out to stabilize, but
Very rough looking.
yeah.
That is one of the also nice parts about pivoting off of like regular breakfast and just like playing the mid-range game is when your opponents bring in hate, you're like, okay, cool, I don't care.
Yeah.
Like if he doesn't have any cephalids in his deck, this Grafdigger's Cage essentially just like, because Cameron already mulled to 6, that put him on a 5.
Mm-hmm.
And he, congrats, you have another artifact, but you're not doing anything with it. Well, we're gonna find out very soon if this Pithing Needle is on the Urza Saga. Pretty sure it is. I don't think it's on Shuko either, because if you already have 2 things in play, so making a construct, so it's not on Urza Saga.
So it's probably on Shuko then, or it's on Nomads.
I think he equipped. It was a very inconspicuous equip if it was.
Yeah. Okay, so it's got to
So
be on
now-
Nomads then.
Well,
Or-
now he's on a 1-turn clock. Because
Yeah.
there's
Now, yeah, I was very sure that was going to be on Saga.
I think not naming Saga there probably cost him the game. I think he wasn't winning this game anyway. But yeah,
All right.
there's the match. Goes to Wyatt on Nadu. This matchup has traditionally been pretty bad for lands. They don't really do a whole lot to stop you.
And in good news, better news here, no deck reg errors.
Yeah.
All right. Camera, it's looking a little bit choppy, but it is working. So we're gonna take it and we're gonna run with it while we got it.
So Gabe won game 1 by putting a card in play, putting a Mystic Forge, or not a Mystic Forge, a Megasynthlatus, and just shutting Andy out of playing the game. Andy's going to start us off with a Ponder, and Gabe mulliganed at least a 6. I don't know if he went any further below that. Gabe does look like he has the really nice land start of playing the land that is every land type into Urza's Tower, so he's going to have 4 mana on turn 2.
Oh, I love those original. I say original. The Battle for Zendikar expeditions. That flooded strand, just gorgeous.
That was like the first secret layer.
Yeah. When those came out, like the first time, I remember those were, oh man, that's so cool.
When they came out, I was like 13 or 14 at the time.
Don't say that. Don't you dare.
But also, that was a while ago.
Yeah.
When those first came out. Because I started around Return to Ravnica, and I was like 10-ish.
Mm-hmm.
And
Don't say that.
but when I opened up a box of Battle for Zendikar, got a Verdant Catacombs, and was like, I lost my mind. I'm like, oh my god, this card's so valuable. And I was so happy that I opened it. I eventually sold it, but like to a kid who didn't have a job, like opening a $300 card was like,
Oh yeah,
it
for
felt
sure.
life changing. It wasn't, but it felt like it.
First, no, I opened a flooded strand out of a fat pack. I was a broke college student.
Ooh, Karn resolves.
Oof. Ooh. Turn 2 Karn is not something that anyone likes to see, I think. All right, Mr. Counterspell. The other top 8 decks, I can just run them down. So obviously we've got the Gabe and Andy here, Mystic Forge and OmniTell. The other top 8 decks are lands, Cephalid Breakfast, Reanimator, the Delverless Delver, the Corey Steel Tempo deck, another Reanimator, and then another Mystic Forge deck. So that's the rest of the top 8 right now.
No oops.
No oops all spells. I think there was only like 1 or 2 registered on the day. The only one that I saw a record on was like 0-4.
Yeah. So we might get a show and tell here. Yep, show and tell from Andy. Gabe flips up a Disruptor Flute. Not sure what he's naming here. but he does get to resolve this Atraxa. Very terrible art Atraxa, but he gets to
Is that what that
resolve-
is?
Yeah, that's
The-
the,
the
Final Fantasy.
okay.
Like, I believe it's just actually Sephiroth,
Mm-hmm.
which looks horrendous in person. It's so bad. I love it, but it's terrible.
Yep. Yeah, it's the.
Sephiroth the Savior. They look like they're actually just 3D printed cards. I wouldn't be surprised if he got that off a printer.
Yeah. It's funny, I saw somebody complaining about a lot of the Final Fantasy cards that are like that are just, they're just screenshots from the game or like pre-existing art or whatever. Compared specifically to like the like if you've seen the comic book Spider-Man stuff that's coming out, that are like reworkings of the comic book art as the borders and stuff. But I think and there's the good Ponder art too.
What's that blue card he resolved earlier that has the weird treatment? Because it doesn't look like
I believe that's preordained. That should be one of the.
See if you can
it's
find
either
that art, because I don't think they did a preordaining that.
It's either a secret lair or.
Because I know there's a sleight of hand, and I thought that was the sleight of hand.
The sleight of hand was like it was a promo in that same style. It's Is it this one? No, it's Store Championships. No. It's one of them.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Okay.
There it
Cool.
is. Yeah, it was a secret lair.
Just want to make sure that wasn't an illegal card.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have another deck reg error on stream.
Oh goodness.
So it looks like he's observing his sideboard to figure out if he
Has an out.
Yeah, he's looking at the Mycosynth Gardens, which isn't good enough. Not sure what the flute's naming. I think it's Force. At least that's my guess. If there's already an Atraxa in play, I would just name a Force and just try to, like, fight through it.
Yeah,
You can put a cage in play.
I was
Or
gonna
not a
s-
cage, an
ensnaring bridge. Yeah, that's what I was thinking might be the grab here.
I don't think he has much else of a choice. Because, like, Gabe's never going to have enough cards in his hands to make bridge bad.
No, because at worst, yeah, Atraxa, Emrakul,
And then if that does resolve, Andy only has the out of... He already has the Sink into Stupor into play, so he needs to have the Otawara in his hand. So it looks like Gabe grabs a Tormod's Crypt for the Flash Raker, which is interesting. Not sure why we didn't grab the bridge here. He does have another Karn in his hand, but I'm a huge fan of just grab bridge, play it, and just
just
pray.
sit. Yeah, I think if he grabbed a bridge, yeah, he could just sit on it for buy him a couple turns.
Yeah. Like I said, it does depend on what that disruptor flute is on, because if it's on Force of Will, you're almost guaranteed to resolve the bridge. At this point, you just play Beseiju, play Fleshraker, deal 2. Not too sure what life totals are, but I can't imagine Andy's that low. I think at most he's at like 15, maybe down to like 12.
Yeah.
But he's about to gain 7 back. Grabbing Tormod's Crypt is... I think he just is using it as a Lotus Petal.
Yeah, I still think and I don't know, maybe
Looks like they're pulling up Companion to track life for us.
that'd be legendary. Thanks, guys.
Okay, so he's at 11.
Yeah, that is. I think that's Omniscience.
Yeah, Show and Tell, Cunning Wish. He doesn't even have anything in the board. Oh, he has to release the ants to kill, worst case scenario, if Gabe did put a bridge into play. So Brainstorm, Narset's Reversal. I don't know what that 3-drop was. It's really hard to see. What was that?
Oh, he went and got Firemind's Foresight.
Yeah, he got that off the Cunning Wish.
Yeah. Grab Cunning Wish as part of that. Get release the ants. Or no,
Shared summons, grab
yeah.
Emrakul, cast Emrakul. Just take an extra turn and kill you.
Yeah, I think release the ants. Probably.
It for sure beats Gabe if he resolves to release the ants.
Yeah. Assuming he's able to.
Put an Emrakul on top.
Yeah, when the clashes.
I
Which
think
he should be able to.
Yeah, I think like what he just did showed that he should have been able to, because I think he might have grabbed. Oh, the last card I think was Intuition.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Potentially. But we're gonna go to game 3. Gabe's gonna be on the play, which is where he wants to be. So bridge didn't really end up mattering there, because he was just gonna release the ants anyway.
I still think that would have been the right call though.
Yeah.
I still think that was the right pick.
No, for sure.
Dude, okay.
Yeah. So that lets you release the ants. Yeah. Honestly, OmniTell, very sweet deck.
Yeah, I don't know. I might play it again at some point.
I think there's definitely very unique things about both this list and Carrie's list.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, this list has less cantrips in total. Well, I guess they're like relatively similar, but he also is playing no Lorien Revealed, which Lorien Revealed seemed very good.
Yeah, I think this is a little bit more almost reserved in that sense. Like it wants to play a little bit back.
I honestly think this is a more aggressive build because he's playing cheaper cantrips. Like, he's playing preordains versus Carrie's playing more stock ups.
Well, I guess in the sense that Carrie, to me, in a deck like this, it feels more aggressive. You're just churning through your deck.
Yeah. Well, because Carrie's build only has 2 attracts and 1 Emrakul.
Mm-hmm.
So he's less of like naturally just playing a show and tell and just putting a fat guy in play.
Mm-hmm.
Versus like Andy has 5 big guys plus 4 omniscience. So he's just trying to draw the show and tell plus a big thing.
Well, I guess maybe that's in the perception. You're just sitting there churning through your deck, like Carrie does, like in those sorts of build we're doing. When I guess maybe aggressive is not quite the right term. I don't know. I like looking at all of my cards.
Yeah.
So and I think that kind of build. Obviously, this is the one that's here in the top 8. I like looking at all my cards. I distinctly remember while we're kind of in sideboards here. I was playing a game of Commander with a buddy of mine once, just a casual game on a random Saturday or something at the game store. This is years back now, and I was doing something. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna draw 20 cards or whatever, and it's Commander, right? And there was a couple of Yu-Gi-Oh players sitting over in the corner, not to talk too much about Yu-Gi-Oh, right? But I just distinctly remember one of these guys going, "You're drawing how many cards?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm gonna draw all of these cards, dude." He's like, I should play Magic. It's like, no, you stay over there.
Yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh just feels weird. Gabe's on a 5, which is super rough, especially because Andy kept a 7.
Ooh, yeah. So the one card that Gabe's playing that I was thinking about the whole drive up here. It's about a little over 2.5 hour drive for me to get up here to Columbus. Was Tezzeret Cruel Captain. Haven't seen it today, but I've been thinking about it like the whole drive up here because this is like the only deck that really gets to play it, I think.
In Legacy specifically.
Yeah, because much more impactful in Vintage. I think I don't really following vintage, but just looking at the card, it feels like a vintage card.
I've had a lot of people say that they think it's going to get restricted just because like key is already restricted.
Yeah.
And they're like, this is just another key that can get a key.
Yeah. Like it seems insane.
Gabe's hand is very interesting here. He has 3 Lotus Petals, which looks like he's putting 2 back. He has a Grim Monolith, a One Ring. He might have 2 Grim Monoliths.
I think he got Land Petal.
Yeah, so
Looks like
if Andy doesn't have a Force of Will, I thought key was restricted. I could be wrong.
It sounds like it would be. As somebody who does not participate much in the format.
Here's a turn 1 ring from Gabe.
You know,
it's pretty good. I'm not sure if key is restricted. I forgot, but being able to like
Vault is restricted. Okay.
Yeah. Being able to. Oh, that's Ponder. Okay. Being able to, like Tezzeret down tick grab a Black Lotus also seems kind of busted.
Yeah.
That Grim Monolith does not untap.
Yeah, he remembered.
Draws 2.
That's another ring, and
that's the Urza land that taps. If you have Metalcraft, it taps for each Urza land you have. Which, funny enough, right now taps for 2.
Mm-hmm. And
he has a Fleshraker in his hand, which he can play another ring, but that doesn't do anything. Like, it draws him another card. I think he's supposed to just play the Fleshraker and pass.
Yeah.
Because if he gains protection, that means nothing if Andy just goes, like, Show and Tell, put an Omni in play, cast an Emrakul. Like, the Annihilator trigger doesn't care about protection.
Yeah.
So I think he's supposed to just play the
Fleshraker, and then if Andy has, like, turn 2 Show and Tell, he can at least pretend to get something out of it. And that appears, to be what he's doing.
Play Fleshraker, say go. Does he have the Show and Tell? Looks like he does.
Yep.
Play Show and Tell, put in Omni, I believe. Gabe deciding if he wants to put in the extra ring. Decides not to. Here's an Omni. Here's a Show and Tell. Or not Show and Tell. Here's a Stock Up. They all start with us. Preordained, second card. And if he has a wish, he just wins the game. Like, Gabe can't stop it.
Takes more cantripping.
Yeah. That's an Atraxa. So if he finds an Emrakul, he wins. Yep, there's an Emrakul. Literally, could just take the Emrakul, cast it. And then looks like this match is going to take by Andy Fent. Yep. Gabe concedes.
All right, we are back here with our semi-final round here. We've got Gabriel Bolanek playing Blue-Black Reanimator and Michael Reed playing Blue-Black Reanimator.
Boogeyman.
Yep, this is the Boogeyman mirror. It was, you know what? I think I would rather see it here than in the finals.
Yeah, I also think I'd rather see this than a Noob's Mirror.
Oh goodness, yes. At least this one will have, some amount of interaction. I think. Yep, and they're getting the
life
totals for us. Much appreciated out there. Whoever can get it pulled up first.
Looks like Michael. Oh, Michael lost.
Oh. Oop, I could get that. Just add. We can see it.
It's close enough.
Yeah. All right. So Gabe's gonna just fire off Thoughtseize there. The beautiful Junji Ito art. Thoughtseize. I'm a sucker for his art. Always have been. And their lists are a little bit different. But Blue-Black Reanimators being okay. So we're gonna force pitch Atraxa.
It looks like Michael's hand is Entomb Reanimate.
Yeah, it is. That's exactly what he's doing too.
So that makes sense. And if Gabriel doesn't have a Force of Will or a Daze, which I assume if he has a Daze, he's firing it off on that. Or no, he's not firing it off on the Force of Will because Michael had the one up. But if he has a Daze, he's 100% firing it off on this Entomb.
Yeah.
Which it doesn't look like he has the Force or that. So he's probably just going to put an Archon in the yard and then just try to reanimate and just go for it. Because if he can, he's probably going to win the game.
Yeah. That said, though, it is, in these Reanimator mirrors, sometimes it's risky casting an Entomb because your opponent can also reanimate your stuff.
Yeah.
That's probably why it doesn't feel so bad pitching that Atraxa there to that Forcible, right? Because your opponent's probably playing one or two of them, too. So if you need it, you can just take theirs.
Also, more than likely, the Force is getting taken if we fire off the Entomb. So we'll just reanimate the Archon. If Gabriel has nothing, which he doesn't, just get to put that in play. And then if Gabriel doesn't have Entomb reanimate on his turn, he might just be dead.
Yeah, pitch that Murktide Regent.
Which I believe I saw Thoughtseize in Michael's hand earlier. So we're probably just going to fetch and then Thoughtseize. Yep. And then take, I assume, Entomb because I think I saw an Entomb.
So it looks like Cameo Brazen Borrower.
Yeah, definitely Brazen Borrower.
Yeah.
And even if Bolonic draws a reanimation effect, he can't go if he draws in reanimate, he can't untap Entomb reanimate because he doesn't have a second black.
Yeah.
He has the basic island, which is unfortunate, but it's probably fine. Yeah, they're just gonna go to game 2.
Yeah,
Play draw.
So
very, very strong hand from Michael Reed of having the Entomb reanimate, Thoughtseize, Force blue card.
Yeah,
on the play.
It's, I know we talked about a little bit earlier. For the most part, I think the Reanimator deck is definitely overrepresented.
I think people just like playing those styles of decks, and
it's
also you'll have people who just want to play the best deck because they're trying to win, which is fair.
Yeah.
Or you have people who played what they think is the best deck. Whenever Nadu was around, there were a lot of people who thought that Boros Energy was the best deck, and so they just played Boros Energy, did pretty decent. And then in Legacy, I don't think we've really had that in a while, where a deck has been I think this is the best deck, as opposed to what is currently the best. To me, Reanimator has been pretty consistently just...
Yeah, it has been the best deck in the format for really about 2 years now. But it's not... I do think it's overrepresented because I think it's very strong, and I think it is... I don't like just saying, oh, it's easy to play.
Yeah.
But the lines are a lot easier to learn than some of the harder decks.
High floor, high ceiling.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a much lower skill floor to be able to have decent results with. I think that's why it tends to be a little bit overrepresented in the meta. But again, if you look at a lot of
having the cantrips are very forgiving.
Yeah. Yeah.
Being able to cantrip your way into just doing a busted thing is very strong. That's also, I think, the same thing when it comes to Omni, and why we saw Omni doing well. Not to discredit the players, but the deck is just cantrips, Omni, protection.
Yeah.
And when your deck is that linear, you tend to do pretty decently.
Yeah, you can devote all of your mental facilities to 3 things versus having to balance 17 different things going on in the format, as well as what your opponent's doing versus what you're doing. You can just say, I'm going to play an Archon. I'm going to show and tell Emrakul.
Yeah. I'm
going to, and I'm a sucker for those very simple, very linear decks. They're fun. They just are. Big card turn sideways.
I'm a big fan of always having 7 cards in hand.
Yeah. That said, though, and again, this is not necessarily saying, if you're, if you play Reanimator, if you play all these simple linear decks, you're you're bad or whatever. That's not what we're saying back here.
It's just to credit the strength of the deck.
Yeah. And like I personally, I think they're fun to play. I don't necessarily find them the most like satisfying to play.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think it is extremely satisfying to just go into Reanimator Traxa. But like me as a player, it's part of the reason why I keep playing like Delver and those tempo decks, like those very one for one kind of like fighting your way through the whole game, staying just a hair ahead. It feels very satisfying when you get through the end of it. It's like, yeah, I just played an hour of magic.
I think between all the variations that Temur Reanimator has been through, this one is my current favorite.
Yeah.
And it's mainly just based off your B plan is much more interesting. Like, when the Temur Reanimator first was a thing, the B plan was Grief. Just like Grief Scam, Reanimate it, and you just have a 3-2 that is relatively hard to deal with in the format.
Yeah.
Which we've talked about a lot, like me and my friends, of Legacy has more access to interaction, but they tend to play less. Which is compared to other formats.
Yeah.
Because they kind of have to, because their cards don't go over the top as much compared to Legacy. Where, like, you'll see control decks where in Legacy where their only spot removal is like swords and like 2 pending, because they need to fight on the stack instead of just like, okay, you have a creature, I'm going to swords it.
Yeah, because in Legacy, the cards tend to be more impactful when they hit. Yeah, so we do see a Thoughtseize over here from Balonic. It appears to be, it looks like it just hit a Tamiya. There were 2 Tamiyos in Michael's hand. Interesting that he would go for...
I see a Bargoyf in Balonic's hand. He drew a Force for the turn.
Okay, because Michael, I think he had a Bargoyf too.
Which I do love the Reanimator mirror, because game 2 just becomes a tempo mirror where you're both playing kind of bad tempo.
Yeah.
Where, like, you don't have Nethergoyfs, you don't have as many Bowmasters as like regular tempo would. So it becomes a who's like mediocre pivot plan is better.
Notably, looking at Michael's list here, I'm not seeing any Bowmasters at all. Gabe's got 2.
2 in the main.
2 in the main, yeah. And then, I'm not seeing... I could be missing them. I'm not seeing any in the 75 for Michael. I mean, the lists are very, very similar, obviously. Just a few little changes here and there. Michael's playing 3 Murktides main, Gabe's playing 2. Michael's playing 2 Cling to Dust main, Gabe's playing 1. Very small swap-ins out here and there. I'm wondering... The card, I think, is maybe going to be most impactful in terms of the difference between these lists might be that, actually, the Orcish Bowmasters. Especially in a Tamiyo Ponder Brainstorm kind of format.
Yeah, it looks like Michael's Thoughtseizing Balonic here, and he's brainstorming to hide some cards. Probably hiding that Bargoyf. And then... looks like that's a Reanimate. Hiding the Ion? Interesting. So we'll see what the plan is from Balonic here to figure out what he's hiding off this Brainstorm. Looks like he hid Island and a second card. I'm not too sure what the second card was. Looks like we got Murktide, Force of Will, Shieldred's Edict, Wasteland, Bargoyf. This is the tough part as well for Michael Reed, is like, if you Wasteland Balonic, he's just going to Wasteland your only other color source. Yeah. Which, if you have another land in your hand, you're fine with. But that's also what attributed the strength of Troll.
Yeah.
Was whenever Troll was legal, if Wasteland was your only land, you can just cycle it to go grab a land that you can play with. Versus now you either have the option of, I'm going to do Lorien Revealed, so I still have that option, but I can't reanimate it.
It's going to take the Force of Will.
And then Wasteland. So he knows he's probably going to get Wastelanded here. I think his top card's an Island. No, it's a Reanimate. So I think Balonic was hoping that the Bargoyf or the Murktide were going to get taken. Because now we can't really do anything. But he is going to untap, play an island, and then probably play this Murktide. We'll see what the plan is from Michael here.
Just gonna
So pass. There's the island. Probably play that, play Murktide. See if Michael drew a blue card. He does have a Tameo, which I believe we knew about. Looks like they're having technical difficulties.
I'm glad it's not just us.
Which Balonic does have a Reanimate in hand, which Michael doesn't know about.
Yeah, because that was.
Which reanimating a Murktide region doesn't feel the best. It essentially says pay 7 life
For a 3/3.
for a 3/3 flyer.
There are worse things to do,
Mhm.
especially I think in this matchup here. I don't know. I would almost be tempted. That is the graveyard, right? Michael's graveyard. It's got that.
Ooh, he drew a
that-
Reanimate.
Okay.
So if Michael keeps land Reanimate among the cards he has and reanimates the Murktide, I think he just has more tempo on Balonic.
Yeah, because I was originally sitting here thinking that maybe Balonic could, reanimate Michael's Tameo. That would be more. I think that would be better than his own Murktide region. But here,
He does have a Fairy Macabre in his hand, which I see a Brainstorm. I think a card that I... Whatever card he's putting back, I can't tell what that is. I kind of like reanimating our Tameo and then Fairy Macabre the Murktide if he goes for Reanimate. Both are good plays.
yeah,
I don't think either is particularly bad, but this does set up a better Murktide for Michael.
yeah, because he can Fairy Macabre. Okay, so we're just gonna brainstorm here.
Because if Michael draws his own Murktide, he can grow the one he has in play by a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Just like have 2 8/8s and be really happy.
That's the scariest part about Murktide region is you play one and then the second one grows the first one.
Yeah.
And then if you're playing 3, which I can't imagine Michael cutting the third one here. Michael's got 3 in the main board, so.
So he plays out a Tameo. He has a Brainstorm in hand to be able to flip the Tameo. Michael also has Brainstorm in his hand, so if he has a Reanimate, I like reanimating our own Tameo
And
and then firing
brainstorming.
off a Brainstorm,
Yeah.
because in that way we're winning the race. Okay, it doesn't have the Reanimate, so it just fires it off.
Can't quite see everything there.
We do also have the line at any point of just discard our Fairy Macabre to exile 2 instants and sorceries from our yard.
Yeah, make it
to
bigger.
Just grow the Murktide. There is a Cling to Dust in Michael's hand, which also reads grow a Murktide by 1, draw a card.
Yeah. Yeah, I really like. Yeah, Michael's got 2 Cling to Dust, which feels really good right now. That just having a second one in this format, and then of course, if you escape it,
Yeah. Just get to grow the Murktide by a ton as well.
yeah,
Yeah, we can attack here. We're not pressured our life total, so we can just Cling and be fine. Cling, eat the Brainstorm out of Balonic's yard, so we don't grow our Murktide, but we do get to draw a card.
and I think that's perfectly acceptable
Yeah,
here.
both are fine.
Because if Blonic's trying to set up this flip Tameo, it's one less card he can try to get back with it.
Ooh, he does have a Shieldred's Edict.
Ooh. I do not think that Michael has a force in hand. Could be wrong. I didn't see one.
Michael also can't reanimate a Murktide again, because he is at 7 and he would die.
Yeah. I mean, he could do it.
It is a legal magic
It is
play.
a legal play. He could, if he wants to, he can reanimate one. I wouldn't personally,
Balonic here trying to decide whether or not he wants to just get rid of the Murktide or flip the Tameo. I think I want to get rid of the Murktide.
I think the Tameo can play a long game if it sticks around, but the Murktide will kill you.
Yes. Hiya.
Now the question
He's
is,
looking at the Fairy Macabre in his hand to grow. I think he has 2 Macabre in his hand. Play another Tameo. I wouldn't be surprised to see an Edict here to get rid of the Murktide.
Yeah, in response.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah, that was Balonic's Murktide.
Yeah, Sego. I kind of like Balonic's spot here more. He draws a Bargoyf, gets to attack with the Tameo, make a clue. Get to block Tameo with Tameo for fun. And then we get to flip ours first, so we're winning this race. Draws Tameo, Brainstorm. So Balonic has 3 Tameos in his hand.
Oh my goodness.
And he is Brainstorm locked.
Oh.
But he's about to have a flipped one. So I don't think he really cares.
Yeah.
He does have a Reanimate in his hand, so he might try to reanimate this Murktide, which Michael's Fairy Macabres are going to shine there. Uptick. Here comes a Fairy Macabre. Eating the Murktide and probably Edict. I think you want to get rid of Edict. Huh? Okay, Gabriel just missed.
Okay, I was also very confused by that.
That makes a lot more sense. Plus, if Michael Reed has an additional Fairy Macabre that I think he does, then we get to we get to discard it in response to like a Tameo down tick if he decides to.
Yeah.
We also just get to draw a card here for free. Is that a Bitter Triumph?
Yeah, it's got to be.
Yeah, it looks like that's gonna go away.
Yeah, that's got to
So
be.
tempo
Bitter
swinging
Triumph.
back in Reed's favor. However, Balonic still has a play set of Tameos that he is cycling between. And he does have a Brainstorm, so he's going to play Tameo Brainstorm likely. Yep. See if he draws a way to get out of the lock. He draws a fetch land, so he can get rid of 2.
Still an awkward spot to be in for Balonic.
He did
though.
draw a fetch land Daze. So he is going to
Okay.
be able to fetch a Surveil land and pick that up to be able to get multiple interactions out of that.
All right. I love that interaction. I love that interaction so much.
We're at 3. Not the best spot for Reed, but they're also both very clearly... Oh, he probably cast a Bargoyf. Trying to figure out what he's doing. Yeah, Bargoyf gets dazed, which never feels good. Do you think we're supposed to fetch a Surveil land and just pick up the Surveil land, though?
I think that's... He might...
He's probably playing around Michael's Daze, in case he has it.
Either that or he needs 3 mana next turn. I don't know exactly. I cannot remember exactly what...
He does have a Bargoyf.
If he's got the Bargoyf, then he might be setting up for the Bargoyf, and that's why he did it that way.
Yeah.
I think you can still make an argument you could fetch Surveil first, and then decide if you want to pick up.
Mm-hmm. He draws a Fatal Push, so he's probably just going to play this Goyf. So you go after upticking. Yeah, looking very good in Balonic's favor. Good to see. We're at 2 now.
2 is still alive.
It is somehow still alive.
So
we draw a Fatal Push. Get to draw a card off a clue. Hopefully draw a Ponder.
One thing I will kind of point out, unless I missed something, Michael should still have a Cling to Dust in his graveyard.
He does have a Cling to Dust in his
So
graveyard.
he can eat like the Bargoyf game 3.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of, it's not like it's not going to necessarily dig him out of the hole entirely, but it is, you know, a step towards stabilizing, especially if we see like a, what's the card? Orcish Bowmasters, one of those just very little.
The biggest issue right now is this Tameo.
Yeah.
Because the Tameo is going to uptick, go up to 8, and if Reed doesn't find an answer to it right now, he's going to lose the game.
Yeah, yeah.
Not many times will you draw half your deck with Tameo and then die. And he petty thefts. Draws the Brazen Borrower this turn. Right on cue.
All right. So
we still have a game.
Yeah, he's still in it. He's still in it.
Draw a card. Probably say go unless he drew a land. Says go. Balonic has a Ponder in his hand, so he's probably going to get a Surveil end here. Surveil something, and then I think he's just going to go Tameo, pop the clue he has, and then Ponder. That'll flip the Tameo again. But now we have a way to deal with the Tameo in the form of Brazen Borrower. He likes the card.
Yeah.
Bowmasters.
Oh.
That one's really good against
Yeah,
Brazen Borrower.
Yeah. Which he
I think we're just in the
run out oh, because he's got a Ponder.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thoughtseize, Fatal Push.
I like all of those right now. If I'm Balonic, I think.
Honestly, I would be looking for another Bowmasters. Because, like, we're going to flip this Tameo, and I think the only response at a read is to play the Brazen Borrower and just try to attack it down. Interesting. Goes with the Thoughtseize instead. Gets Reanimate, Thoughtseize. Both cards Michael cannot cast.
Oof.
So not the best Thoughtseize, but more of an informational one. This just means that he's not going to be able to flip the Tameo this turn, which
is fine. I think if I'm Balonic, I think just knowing that my opponent's got 2 dead cards in hand, when, you know, obviously life totals are what they are, but I think it's still a very, very close game.
He can just play the Bowmaster right now before there's any kind of counterspell. Yeah. Because if Michael draws a Daze here, then it just doesn't look like the best play out of Balonic. So Michael's exact draw has to be something good. We can Cling to Dust, gain life, which I think is what he's doing. Yeah.
He's looking for it. So yeah, it
So
buys
he's
him.
probably getting rid of the Bargoy. Yeah.
Yeah, it buys him a turn.
I think it buys him 2 turns. Is it 4?
Yeah, because the
the
Bowmaster would have put him to 1.
Okay. It buys him a turn for now, but he has enough cards in his graveyard to be able to flash it back next turn as well.
Yeah. Still not like a comfortable sitting position.
Oh no. Attack for 2, put you to 2. But next turn we get to flashback Cling again, and then be able to not play a Cling for a turn.
Yeah.
Thoughtseize.
Just double checking. Oh my goodness.
Thoughtseize or Thoughtseize. Tameo, say go.
Oh. All right. That's not good. All right. Excellent news, everyone. It was just very easy. Reset the camera, and we're back on. Like I said, going into game 3 here. Oh, let me make sure I got the game markers correct.
Yeah, Balonic taking that one. He just had a better tempo plan that game. Bowmasters really just took Michael out. Couldn't really find a way to get back into it without drawing cards, and Bowmaster's pretty good at punishing that.
Yeah, the game did go a couple extra turns longer than it might have looked like it was going to. The Cling to Dust kind of buying Michael several extra turns there, but ultimately it did go to Balonic there.
Watching the backup match was it was Nadu Breakfast versus Sneak and Show, or not Sneak and Show, just OmniTell. I saw the Cephalid player just keep revealing cards off Nadu to the point that they had to use the 012 tracker that they were using at the Pro Tour.
Mm-hmm.
So it looked pretty good for him. Pretty sure he's going to win that one, especially because OmniTell's only cards in hand was an Omniscience and an Atraxa. There was no Show and Tell, no nothing. So very likely he's going to win that one. But we'll see. More than likely going to be Cephalid Breakfast versus whichever blue-black Reanimator player wins this match. So it looks like we have a Thoughtseize that's going to reveal Force of Will, Ponder, Thoughtseize, Fatal Push.
Yeah, looks like we're taking
Takes the Ponder. Gonna Wasteland, pass back. Welcome to Legacy, folks. Probably gonna play a Thoughtseize of his own.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
He's hovering
He's
over.
ready.
He knows.
Anytime I think my opponent's gonna Thoughtseize me, I always lay the cards in front of me, just flat, and then whenever they actually cast it, I just drop them down.
Yeah.
It's so much fun.
Yep, there's the Thoughtseize.
See a Reanimate in Michael's hands.
Oh.
You for sure take the Reanimate here.
Yeah, oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So really just 3 creatures and Reanimate. We have nothing better to do.
Yeah, any other, and I mean, if you take either of the creatures, you get
Yeah.
he gets reanimated, and then he gets wastelanded. Feels real bad.
So the perfect draw for Michael here is within his next 2 draw steps to draw a fetch land. Because he's gonna... I would Wasteland here.
Yeah, I don't think there's any... Yeah,
Yeah.
There's no reason not to.
Bolonic does have a Force, which Michael does know about, and then a Tameo. That Tameo, if unanswered, is going to run away with this game.
Yeah, 100%.
Very easily.
Alright, so 2
I
unknowns.
think we just have a
on
pass
Michael.
back from Michael, so it looks not great for Michael here.
Getting that basic island, not going to risk getting wastelanded again here.
I do think if Michael had the opening 7 with 2 Murktides, he's probably supposed to ship it. Because, like, that's basically a 6, and the 6 doesn't look that great.
That...
Flip Tameo already? That's rough. If we have a Fatal Push, we have to fire it off here. We have a Force, okay. Does Bolonic have a blue card? He does have a blue card. Pitches Brazen Borrower, gonna flip this Tameo. Probably gonna run away with the game with that.
Yeah, this is a rough spot to be in.
Didn't draw anything particularly great, but it's just more of the fact that he's going to have a flip Tameo and Michael is gonna have nothing.
Yeah.
Now, if he does draw a blue source or a fetch land here, he can play a Murktide and be really happy. Because Bolonic played the answer, pitching the answer. So we have Land, Brainstorm, Fairy Macabre. I think we have to keep this and just draw the land.
Yeah, it's not... It doesn't feel good.
No. We do next turn get to play the Murktide and try to deal with the Tameo.
Was that Cling to Dust? I think that's that last card there is Cling to Dust.
It's either Cling to Dust or Fairy Macabre.
Yeah.
Passing back. I guess the land doesn't really matter. Unless that last card's Cling to Dust. Michael getting ready for Bolonic to shock in a land as he hovers over just the one.
Shocking.
I think that's a
lands.
Force of Will. Bolonic's hand is Fatal Push, Fetch Land. If that last card, if that card on top is Force of Will, we probably just draw a card off the clue. It is a Force of Will. I like drawing a card off the clue. If it's not a blue card, down tick Tameo. It is a blue card.
Okay. Yeah, this is a...
So we get to uptick Tameo and just
sit.
Yeah.
If he doesn't need to use the Force, he can Brainstorm. If he does need to use the Force, he's got it. Bolonic's in a very good position right now.
Michael Reed likely to play this Murktide, and then it's gonna get forced, which Not ideal.
No, not at all.
Plays Bitter Triumph. Okay.
Oh, it was Bitter Triumph. That's what it was. Okay.
I like running out the Murktide and getting that potentially forced. Like, it does kind of suck, but this Murktide's not going to be in enough time. Yeah, because we don't have a force back. I like playing the Murktide. Balonic has to force the Murktide. And then we just Bitter Triumph the Tamiyo before it ultimates. So maybe a little bit of a misplay. Now Michael essentially has to top deck like a Brazen Borrower or another Bitter Triumph. And if he doesn't, Balonic's just going to ultimate this Tamiyo and just win the game on the spot.
Oh, man. I'll be honest, I kind of want to see the Tamiyo ultimate. The card's so good.
Pretty sure if Michael doesn't draw an answer, he's just going to concede.
Yeah. It's just going to run it out.
Open Prey, I guess.
It's not.
That's the other downside of Michael not playing any Bowmasters is when it comes to the Tamiyo Ultimate Mirror.
Yeah, it's
you can't you can represent it, but you don't have it. You'll never have it.
Yeah.
So Tamiyo's gonna ultimate. He's gonna draw half his deck. Balonic drew a Murktide.
Ooh.
So he just has to play a Murktide.
All right, so it looks like we're just counting
backwards. Probably going to draw somewhere in the ballpark of 20 cards.
Oh, this guy feels so good. Just an absolutely just full grip right there.
I'll play a land. Yeah, we also just get to play our own Murktide and just Petty Theft the other one back and probably have Force, or just play a Go for the Throat.
Mm-hmm.
And we know he has the Murktide because he drew it for turn. That's probably just game. Drew a Reanimate, but there's nothing worth reanimating.
Yeah,
there's
that's
the match.
concession. I appreciate the sitting there thinking about it, like, is there anything I can do instead of just immediately scoop in?
Yeah.
But,
that was more of a is there anything I could have done instead of anything I can do here, because once the Tamiyo upticked and the Force hit the only answer he had, it seemed pretty over.
yeah. Hey guys, we're getting ready to get started back up here. Just kind of wanted to pop in. You can kind of see there's that Mox Jet, beautiful, glorious, obscenely expensive Magic card right there. Second place takes 2 Underground Seas today. An absolutely just crazy kind of card pool, prize pool today. Oh, we're gonna leave him on camera. All right, this is what everyone's playing for. This is for all the marbles. This is our final match. Gabriel Balonic playing Blue-Black Reanimator. And, Wyatt Gibson playing Nadu Breakfast.
And with just like a Black Lotus to show me up. Like, all right.
Yeah, all right, you got me. So also, if you saw in the throughout the top 8, instead of putting the player records like we had all day, the numbers, those have been the seeds for the whole day. So Wyatt going into this was first seed. Gabe was 7th. So that's what those numbers have been the last couple rounds. I didn't even think about it. But if there was any confusion as to what those were, that's not where they currently are placed or anything. That was just the seeding going into the final round.
So both players are on a 6 here. Wyatt debating if he wants to mulligan. He does only have 1 land and a Brainstorm. So if he doesn't hit that second land,
he's locked.
Yeah. He can fetch a Surveil land, which does give him more looks, but it is kind of rough.
And it's risky too.
Yeah.
Like, especially, I mean, at this point, I think but there's no way that both players don't know what they're playing into here.
Yeah, they were sitting literally right
Yeah.
next to each other.
So yeah, knowing what you're getting into, yeah, I wouldn't want to risk it too much.
That's a pretty good ponder. It's
What's that?
Force Days
Bowmaster,
Bowmasters.
yes, that's
Very inclined to take the Force or the. I mean, you can take the Days, but I think having just the power of Force is more of where I want to be. Because if he just untaps and plays a 1-drop fetch land and just passes, then
yeah.
we're not too happy. And like, how likely is Gabe to daze a brainstorm?
Probably not very likely.
Yeah.
You could, but you'd have to feel. I mean, maybe if he had like thought seized,
Mm-hmm.
could maybe justify dazing a brainstorm, but
Ben's a Force of Will. So that either signals to Bolonic that he already has interaction, or he doesn't want anything. He does draw a fetch land, so
Okay.
he is able to get out of this. I think I saw him draw Memory's Journey as well, so that's for sure going back. Not sure what the other card going back is. Not too sure the contents of his hand. They're not really playing with their hands on camera, but that's alright. He'll get to play a fetch land and pass.
okay.
Or I think he does have a Nomads in hand. So this would be the one play where him drawing putting the days in his hand would be nice. What? Entomb and Upkeep.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I was like, does Gabe know he's tapped out?
Yeah.
No,
I
just
think they were
shortcutting
just
it.
shortcutting it. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Yep. And then the Entomb is good.
Archon. I think if Wyatt has a Force here, he wants to do it on the Reanimate. Normally you want to do it on the Entomb to try to prevent, but if Bolonic has Daze, then he's guaranteed to... I guess it doesn't really matter. Yeah, it looks like this Archon's going to hit the table, which is not ideal for Nadu. Because we're going to have to sacrifice our Nomad. Even if we have a Force, we're not going to be able to stop it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Okay. Yeah. There's the Reanimate. This is one of those things that's like.
So Wyatt's biggest hope here is to have a land plus 1-2 combo. What are we discarding? Discard Tamia.
Tamia.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it is entirely possible that Wyatt's got the answers here. He's still trying. Okay, so Ponder.
Yep, makes sense.
Looks like Nadu land.
Nadu, both basics.
Okay, yeah.
I don't think that's where he wants to be.
Yeah,
Unless,
okay.
Maybe he has,
he has like a
what he
source.
wants in his hand. Passes back.
Brazenbauer, maybe? Or
We can look at the list real quick. It looks like he's letting combat happen.
let's see. Breakfast. No.
Wyatt's gonna get thought seized. His hand was Nomads and Cephalid, which I think Wyatt's dead this game because his top card is the planes that we know about. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Scooping it up. Reanimator doing the thing. All right. Well, I mean, Bolonic's one game away from a Mox Jet.
Yep.
Alternatively, he's 2 games away from 2 underground
UC.
seas. No, I think at the end. Yeah, I think at the end of the day, even, I mean, even top four or top.
And the semifinalists both got 2 drops.
Yeah, semis got drops. Even the, fifth through eighth place took home a Savannah. Pretty good condition Savannahs too. So, if you think about it, today's entry was $110. So you could pay $110 for even just like a $300 card. I'd feel pretty good going home.
Very top heavy, but I mean,
Yeah.
how upset?
Oh
can you be?
yeah. I think
It did pay out to 24th, so that's nice. I believe 9th through 24th all got a Force of Will.
That sounds probable.
Either that or like 9th through 16th got an Ancient too, maybe.
They got-
but I think
yeah.
it was all Force of Wills.
I don't remember the exact pricing. I will be fully transparent in that I didn't really look too heavily at what the pricing was because I knew I wasn't playing. I knew the first place got a Mox Jet, and that was all I knew coming in today. Deck lists, I think are usually available at some point.
It's usually after the event.
Yeah, it won't be today. It'll probably be.
We just want to make sure that the players don't have access to each other's deck lists beforehand, because if one player knows, then it's not really the most entertaining.
Yeah.
I'm a huge advocate for all events being open deck list.
I'm not opposed to that.
I think open deck list events are the best events in Magic because it allows both players to have a better game.
Yeah.
Because anytime that I've played an event where it's closed deck list, I will either keep a hand or my opponent will keep a hand where it's like, this is good against this, but not good against that. And then it just feels bad when it's like, okay, I kept a hand that was good against Reanimator, but then I paired into Mono Red Stompy. And it's like, this is terrible. This feels awful.
Yeah.
And that's part of Magic where like you don't know what your opponent's on, but also it just creates better games.
Yeah. Open deck lists, especially at the like top 8, or like whatever the top cut is.
Yeah.
I definitely think. Obviously, at the end of the day, there's a lot of player skill involved in coming and winning an event like this. But at the end of the day, it is a card game. There is a definitive amount of luck and just random chance involved.
Yeah.
And I do think that, open deck lists does reduce an amount of the variance in that. And kind of, it gives you the opportunity to say, okay, I know I'm matched into this. I can, keep certain hands game 1, better sideboarding into game 2. There is an argument that maybe in a fully closed deck list, right, you might be able to if you can maybe outsmart by having like some gotcha weird like 1 or 2 of or something that can win you events, right?
The fun part about having random 1-ofs is an open deck list where they know about it.
Yeah, they see it and they go, what is this?
Because I was playing Goryo's in Modern and I was playing Late to Dinner. No one knows what that card does.
That's the destroy. That's the no. It's the reanimate. It's the white 4-mana reanimate.
It's a 4-mana reanimate that makes a food. I was playing SCG Indy. None of my opponents, because day 2 was open deck list. Every single one of my opponents is like, what does that card do? And I'm like, let me just grab it for you. It literally is just a reanimate that makes a food. But they always read it and they're like, okay, I have to actually think about this card. And it honestly never really came up. Like it was okay. But just having more fun games, I think, is the way to go.
Yeah.
Like, we had a BCDL in Columbus, I think it was 3 BCDLs ago, that was accidentally open decklist the entire event, where when they started the event, they didn't click the hide decklist button, and so you could see what everyone was on. That was the most fun BCDL I've ever played in, and that's including the one that I won.
Yeah.
Because, just being able to see what your opponent was on and letting you know, hey, I can keep this hand, can't keep this hand, just much better vibes.
We see an Urza Saga over here from Wyatt, and then both players just doing the classic can tripping. Urza Saga here, I think, is going to be good.
Very good start from Wyatt of having multiple angles he's attacking from, where he's going to put the Stamio in play and it's going to generate some amount of card advantage. So Gabriel's going to either fight the Tamio or be able to fight the Saga. we'll probably be able to do both at some point, but at least right now,
So yeah, this early in the game.
yeah, like Wyatt's gonna be able to do kind of whatever he wants. There is a Force in Gabriel's hand. Not sure if Gabriel kept in the Reanimator package. I did see an Animate Dead in his hand, so very likely he did. Usually just putting an Archon in play is, pretty good.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Especially in a matchup like this where you're not just getting yourself a little bit, you're also hurting them a little bit in terms of like the tempo swings. It can, especially like if he was theoretically right, just to stick one here. What is that?
That's a Fatal Push.
That is a Fatal Push. Okay.
Yeah. One of the new weird arts.
Gotcha. I mean, I assumed it was some kind of removal spell. I just would not.
Yeah, that one is the same treatment as the Atraxa,
Mm-hmm.
where looks like you just grabbed it off a printer.
Yeah.
Like, that looks like a proxy I would have paid for a couple years ago. Alright, so just going to be on the construct plan for Wyatt, which
I think that's.
Reanimator usually doesn't have the easiest time dealing with.
No, I think being on constructs is. I don't hate it.
If I'm Wyatt here, I'm turning the Mox Jet towards me and saying it's in play.
Yeah.
Extra mana is great.
I'm gonna borrow this Mox Jet. This is gonna be my construct token.
I will just grab all three and say, you know what, they're all in play.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? Gabriel thinking here. He can, if he has a land, play a Murktide. Not too sure what's in his hand. Both players playing with the cards close to their chest, so hard to see what all they have. Do believe I saw a Force of Will out of Bolonic. Best case for Wyatt here is he plays a Murktide and Wyatt has a Daze. Not sure if he has the Daze. But we're about to find out. Is that? Okay, that's a Murktide.
Yeah. Notably,
Yeah, here-
Bolonic on 2 Murktides.
Here comes a Murktide. I think I see a Force in Wyatt's hand. There's a Brainstorm. Can't tell if there's a Swords or not. Make a Construct.
Reasonable.
So I think Wyatt probably has a Swords in his hand, or he has a way to just try to win the game.
Yeah.
Make another Construct. Has actual Construct tokens. I feel like Construct tokens is the most made fake token, where people will just kind of grab whatever and use them. I
Yeah.
personally am a big fan of using the ugliest snubbles I can find. They're so terrible, but I love them. Shuko makes a lot of sense. Not a whole lot else you really want to grab. Not really doing anything. Pithing Needle doesn't do anything, and that's actually the only other thing he has, if he did bring it in. Which
Yeah, I don't.
I usually bring Needle in Wasteland matchups, just because like usually they're not as good into Sagas.
Yeah, I don't think it would be worth necessarily bringing in, and obviously we've got the deck list here. Main board Gabriel's actually only on 2 Wasteland.
Yeah.
Um,
Drop. Is this a Brainstorm? Okay. Two lands and a Force Negation. So Wyatt's a little flooded here.
not a great position to be in.
Just equip to one of them and just pass. Yep.
Yeah, we'll see what Bolonic does. He's kind of hard pressed to attack with the Murktide though, because
I think it's a 6/6. I don't think he had that many that many spells in his yard.
yeah, but I mean if he
Ooh.
Entomb.
The Boogeyman.
He's thinking of, yeah.
Alright. Let's see. He does have a Force. He does have a Reanimate in his hand. So I think Bolonic is going to take this one away. Because Wyatt for sure is going to be drawing a land, and I can't see Bolonic grabbing anything but... Oh, he can grab the Atraxa. I thought he was going to grab the Archon.
I
think with the current board state, it's not unreasonable to grab either.
yeah, I think yeah.
Probably just trying to